For the Normal Community Ironmen, the second season starts tonight. The regular season is in the books, and it's time for the IHSA playoffs. It starts with the regional for the Ironmen. We hope it's a long run, but it starts here this evening as Normal Community takes on Minooka in the regional semifinals. Joel Swanson, Zach Knox-Doyle, Ben Kerber here from Normal Community High School tonight. And guys, this is it. This is really the moment we've been waiting for, the start of the regional. It starts with Minooka tonight. We're hoping for a long run, but in a one-and-done tournament, you got to play them one at a time.
Yep, whoever loses tonight goes home. So it's a big game, high stakes. I'm excited.
Yeah, Ben, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, like you said, Community, they had a 26-5 season. It's pretty great. They played a lot of good competition. They got a lot of good experience for this moment right here. And, going into tonight, both teams are 0-0, so it's really all about who wants it more. And let's see if Community can defend their home court advantage here tonight for the regionals.
And Minooka comes in 12-19, Normal Community 26-5. Minooka is the 8th seed, Normal Community the 1 seed here, and playing on the Ironmen's home court. Obviously, a lot of advantages for Normal Community, but let's talk a little bit about a one-and-done event, a little bit different than what the Ironmen have seen before. There was always another day for Normal Community coming off a loss. That kind of goes out the books right now, and the lower seeds sometimes have an advantage, especially in a tight game where that higher seed starts to tighten up. So the longer Minooka can make this a contest, the more that kind of swings in their favor.
Yeah, Minooka's in a really good conference, and they were 12-19, but they were actually 9-7 in conference play. They won 9 of their last 15 games, so they really got on a roll at the end of the season. They have a new coach at the start of this year. Their coach took the team from 0-16 in conference last year to 9-7 in conference this year. So they were dead last in Southwest Prairie, and now they're 6th this year. That coach is Kevin Kane, and actually, no, that was their coach before, who led the team to a 41-91 record. Hespel is now their current coach. He coached at Lockport, led them to about a 500 record over 8 years, so he's had a lot of experience. And he actually was an assistant coach at Lockport before that, so a really experienced coach. And this is a variety team. They got about 6 seniors, 7 sophomores, or 7 juniors, 2 sophomores. So they got quite a variety, and Community's got to watch out for them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing you're going to be able to count on with Minooka is they are not going to be intimidated. You look at their conference with Joliet West, West Aurora, Oswego East, Romeoville, Yorkville. Those are the 5 teams that finished ahead of Minooka in the Southwest Prairie. They will not be intimidated. They have played good competition all year, and they're just going to play another good team tonight in Normal Community.
Exactly, and I mean, we know that the more you lose, the more you learn. And obviously that's exactly what they did. They started the season 3-13, didn't shake them. They're here tonight, and winning 9 of their last 15, like I said, that's huge. So they've really gotten on a roll, and momentum's key.
Yeah, Ben, let's talk a little about the Ironmen. Where are they at right now? 26-5 coming in and just trying to get on a tournament roll.
Yeah, it seems like they've been playing with a lot more, confidence, and they've really been getting at it these last few games of the season. They had a great win against Moline a few weeks ago, and then they had a great win against West this past weekend, where in that West game, I think they did a really good job in that game. It seems like they were really trying to get playoff ready in that. They beat them 52-34, and they shot 55-69, 18-67. So that's a really good percentage for community standards. Nico, he was the leading scorer in the Moline game and the West game, so he's been on a bit of a roll these past few games, and that's certainly a good time. And he shot 67%, Braylon shot 67%, and Jaheim shot 80%.
Yeah,
so it seems like they're certainly getting into a good rhythm here, and that's at the perfect time.
Yeah, Normal Community has shot a high percentage from the 2-point field goals all year long, and trying to expand that out to the 3. Let's turn things over now to Jason Drengwitz with the PA announcer here at Normal Community High School for our starting lineups and, first of all, our national anthem.
Boys basketball region. Tonight's game features the Indians from Minooka and the Ironmen from Normal Community High School. Everyone is asked to support their team in a positive manner by respecting the efforts of the athletes, coaches, officials, and other fans. Good sportsman is appreciated by those around you. At this time, will everyone please rise, face the flag, and remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of tonight's national anthem, performed by Normal Community Junior Lily Mavros. starters for tonight's contest. First, for the Maroons Indians. Starting at guard is 6'1" senior, number 4, Trey Brass. Starting at forward is 6'3" senior, number 10, Micah Hamilton. Starting at another forward, a 6'4" sophomore, number 13, Zane Caves. Starting at another forward, a 6'5" junior, number 14, DJ Hampton. And starting at a guard, a 6'3" junior, number 34, Jaden Bowe. And now for the starters from Normal Community. At guard, a 6'6" senior, number 3, Nico Newsom. At another guard, a 6'4" senior, number 11, Braylon Roman. At forward, a 6'4" senior, number 22, Dexter Egan. At another forward, a 6'8" senior, number 23, Noah Cleveland. And at center, a 6'10" senior, number 33, Jakeem Weber. Tonight's officials are Joe Brownfield, Clinton King, and Doug Williams.
And here we go. It's Minooka and Normal Community, the regional semifinal. Don't forget, we will have the second game here at Normal Community tonight. That will be Normal West and Rock Island. So the Rocks taking on the Wildcats. That will be game 2. But all of our focus and attention right now at center court as the Normal Community Ironmen start their postseason run. We'll see if it's long or short. It starts here tonight, though, as they take on the Indians of Minooka. And right away, we see a little zone defense here. Looks like a little staggered, maybe 1-3-1 from the Indians.
Yeah, we just saw the tallest player there on the tip-off for Minooka as Nico went for a little fadeaway. Dexter got the offensive board, kicks it out to Braylon, but their tallest guy is 6'5", and now he was right there at the tip, and Jaheim seemed to get that easily. So that should be a big factor tonight.
It might be a 1-2-2 here from the Indians to start off. They're going to have to protect that inside area. Jaheim Weber down inside. He's going to get an easy one. Boy, they're not going to let Jaheim catch it that deep.
Yeah, it seems like he's very comfortable in that shot over the season, even if there's 2-3 guys on him. So that's something very encouraging to see, especially in playoff time.
Yeah, and you saw that height difference right there. Like, he had a clear 5 inches on that guy.
Micah Hamilton brought it up for Minooka. I mean, interesting matchup here now with Jaheim Weber, the Ironmen in their man-to-man defense. Hamilton fake now goes all the way inside, shot up and in. Nice move that time by Micah Hamilton. The senior at 6'3", ties the game at 2.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer. He averages almost 10 points a game, 4 boards. He also gets about a steal a game and 2 assists, so he's a very talented player.
Yeah, and we talked about how they're not intimidated. He really just drove in there and made a layup on about 3 guys, so it seems like they're not feeling the pressure in this regional
right
matchup.
At Jaheim.
Pretty aggressive on defense.
Jaheim tried to get that ball to Noah Cleveland. The ball still loose on the deck, picked out of there by the Indians, so a turnover right there for Normal Community. 2-2, 6.5 to go here, first quarter, a regional semifinal. The Ironmen got the first bucket. Minooka came right back with Hamilton, who has the ball right here against Weber. Down inside, now kicks it back out for the Indians, and they'll restart the offense.
Great defense from the Ironmen there. It looked like Hamilton was trying to go in and do that same move again. Jaheim was not letting that happen, forced him to pass the ball around a lot.
Yeah, especially the last few games. It feels like Community's been playing much more team defense than any point we've even seen this season. I know the last game they played, they held them to only, I believe, 14 points a half, and that's pretty incredible for high school.
And 34 overall.
Yeah.
The last 3 games, Community has held their opponents under 34.
Here's a kick now to the corner for the Indians, and again, they'll reset the offense. Being very patient on the offensive end here. The clock already now down to 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. Last time we saw the Ironmen on this floor, they knocked off Moline. 31-29 was the final in that one. Here's a 3 now for Hamilton. That's way too long, and the Ironmen have a run out the other way. Newsom all the way in. Oh, and he missed the layup at the end. Boy, Nico had the beautiful Euro step, just couldn't finish at the cup that time, and the score stays 2-2.
And after the game against West, Braylon to Nico, there was about 2 to 3 alley-oops, so I was actually expecting Nico to slam that one home.
Yeah, he almost got there that time. Nice job using that Euro step to get past the defender. Got all the way to the rim. I'm just not sure how that ball rolled out.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to go for the dunk a little bit. Probably should have settled for just a layup. But
Got travel here against Manuka, so the Indians turn it over. And I think you're right, Ben, kind of got between the dunk and the lay-in right there and didn't do either one in the end and ended up missing it. 2-2 our score, as Normal Community has played some really low-scoring games as of late. This might be headed for another one here. Jaheim Weber inside, missed another layup. That's the second layup miss, but Jaheim's got it back, and it's going to be an and one opportunity there for Jaheim Weber. The 6'9 senior has the first 2 buckets for the Ironmen.
We haven't seen a game that Jaheim's just absolutely dominated for a little bit. I think Jaheim's done a really good job of kind of understanding we have so many scorers on this team. Like Nico could get you 20 any night, Braylon could, Noah can, and Jaheim's really just, he knows that he gets double and triple teamed as the free throw goes up.
No good that time. Hamilton's got the rebound, and Jaheim's also in a position, Zach, where he's got to be fed the ball. He's going to be in that post area, so the rest of the guys are going to have to get it to him. Not like a point guard or an off guard who's going to have it and kind of do his own thing.
And today I'm expecting a lot of points from Jaheim today. He seems like he really likes his matchup, and he's going right at Manuka.
Yeah, I was thinking about that recently. I was thinking about who was going to maybe go crazy this game, and it's kind of hard to tell because Nico, he's been going crazy the last few games.
Yep.
Braylon, he's always a consistent, give you about 15, you know. But we haven't seen a big game from Noah or Jaheim in a while, so there's always the chance that they can go crazy too.
Yeah, Nico was the leading scorer in the last 2 games that the Ironmen have played. So you really never know. And then Braylon's the leading scorer for the season, and Noah Cleveland's second.
Nice job by Nico right there. Just about picked that one off from his knees. Now Hamilton has the basketball out front now. Over to Hampton. They'll swing it around the horn here. Manuka doing a nice job being really patient on the offensive end. Back out front now. The Indians under 4 to go here in the quarter. Baseline and a travel again. Looked like a foul that time on Braylon Roman. A lot of contact on the baseline, but Manuka does not get the call there and stays at 4-2 our score.
4 minutes and 2 points from Manuka. The Ironmen are doing a really good job of clamping them up there, and Braylon might have gotten away with a little push there, but it's been really solid defense from the Ironmen tonight.
Yeah, he's also bigger than most like stereotypical guards, so he can use his body a little bit more than most.
They go back inside for Weber again. Back outside, Braylon Roman 3. That's no go. It actually went down that time. Got the roll for Braylon Roman. And I think getting a lead for Normal Community is going to be very important in this kind of game with the pace that we have in this particular contest so far. And just the pressure of being the favorite here in the regional.
Yeah. we've seen teams, you know, try to get these elongated possessions like Manuka's kind of doing right here. But if you don't have a lead, you can't really do that the whole game like Moline and Men of War were trying to do to us these past few games. So I think teams have kind of realized that you got to try to draw out possessions, but if you don't have a lead, you can't really have success.
Here's a turnover now by the Indians. Braylon Roman back the other way, coast to coast, and he missed it that time. Noah Cleveland, I think, tried to dunk it, maybe?
Yeah.
And that is going to be a tie up there. It's going to belong to Manuka, or did they call a foul? Nope, it is going to be a tie up. I'm not exactly sure what Noah did on that play, but he came down with the basketball right there. And now a couple subs coming in for the Ironmen, Kobe Walker and Connor Smith. Both of them have seen a ton of time so far this season, so nothing new for the Ironmen in the lineup right there.
Yeah, Connor Smith's actually averaging 15 minutes a game now. It's really ramped up as the season's progressed.
Now the Ironmen looking to trap. You can tell they want a faster pace. They're trying to speed Manuka up here a little bit. So far in this contest, they lead 7-2. As again, Hamilton driving now on Kobe Walker, who's in the game for Jaheim Weber. Good pressure by the Ironmen. This might be some of the best ball pressure we've seen from Normal Community so far this year.
Yeah, I think that was certainly stepped up, and you could see that executed even more in the West game as well, because I think they were definitely trying to make West go very fast, and they were putting up really bad shots, and that's how we got out to a big lead. And then it led Community on offensively to start going crazy. You know, I saw Braylon dunk on some people. I saw some lobs to Nico, and it just really got the crowd hype, and we just got into more community basketball. So if they can do, we might see something here.
Here's some community basketball.
Here we go. And take off and a throwdown for Braylon Roman and a timeout for Manuka. Brett Hespel takes a timeout for the Indians. Good start for the Ironmen. They're out in front 9-2, and it really has started on the defensive end, forcing a couple turnovers, getting out in transition, opening up a nice lead.
Well, defense turns to offense, and I'm not sure if you can see, but we got the dunkometer on the other side, flipping that over to 1 now. We got 1 dunk for the night, and, I mean, the defense has just been excellent. 2 points in 6 minutes, just really hard ball pressure, forced about 3-4 turnovers. So I think community, they knew what a big, like, this is a challenge. Even though Minooka's 12-19, they had an excellent conference record. They closed the season out really well. So community knew that they were going to need to start this game off really hot, and they got a 9-2 lead. This is exactly how they wanted to start the night.
Now, the Indians started the year 3-13 in 2023, but 9-6 in 2024. So as you mentioned, Zach, they have played much better in the second half of the season. Hamilton almost turned it over and almost turned it over again, but Zane Caves is able to use that 6'4" frame to snatch it out of the air. 9-2 Normal Community leads, 1:45 to go here in the first quarter. The Ironmen have used transition basket off of some steals to put some points on the board here in quarter number 1.
We've seen some Ironman big men out there in the perimeter, like Kobe Walker right here. We've seen Dexter. We've seen Noah. They've all been doing a great job. Like Noah steps up here, Dexter steps up there. They've all been doing a great job adding pressure, and I think that's really had troubles for Minooka so far.
Boy, Caves came open for just a second, didn't take it. Boy, the Indians are very, very patient with the ball. 1:15 to go here in the first quarter. The drive now is Caves back out front. Just in the game is Wes Owens. Here's a 3 from the corner. That's good that time. And knocked down by Micah Hamilton. That's his second bucket, makes it 9-5.
Yeah, he's one of the best three-point shooters for him, shooting just 32% from downtown. They're not a great three-point shooting team, but we're seeing them be very patient. I think they saw Moline was able to only lose by two at community by just playing that really slow, patient basketball. So they definitely took some notes from that.
Cleveland down inside, out to Connor Smith. Three-pointer no good. Rebound run down by Dexter Niekamp. They'll reset it now. Smith now goes on the corner. He's lost the dribble, kind of just threw it up in the air and turned it over that time. Not a good pass inside, and Minooka's got the turnover. And now a chance here for the Indians to really cut this gap here at the end of the first quarter. 9-5 our score. You kind of feel like Normal Communities really had control of the first quarter, but only a 4-point game.
Yeah, the score's not really showing for it.
Yeah, they've only scored 9, even though it seems like, oh, geez, Kobe Walker just tried to bulldoze that man.
A couple guys on the floor, and now getting an easy layup inside that time is Jaden Bowe. That's his first bucket, 9-7. 5 seconds on the clock now. Connor Smith sees it off to Braylon Roman. Roman now with one at the horn. It's on its way. He got it. Braylon Roman, the three-pointer. He's got 8 in the quarter, and the Ironmen lead 12-7 in a low-scoring game. That is a big bucket there at the end of one. 1 quarter down here in the regional semifinal. Normal Community 12, Minooka 7. Ben, let's start with you. Impressions of quarter number 1.
Yeah, I like that final shot. You can tell Braylon wanted that ball. He's kind of been that guy as the season progresses, and he really shot that with confidence. And that, like you said, that's a good bucket to get because this has been very low-scoring so far. You know, like Zach said, defense goes into offense, and I think that community's been playing with more of that mindset as of late because they've really been putting a lot of tension on their defense as, you know, other teams have been trying to elongate these possessions, and they've been trying to, you know, get in transition and do what they do so well. But at the same time, you got to start getting some buckets at some point and not let Minooka hang around too long because if that defense ever falters, you want to make sure you're up by enough. So I think let's look to see community, you know, push the ball a little bit more, get to their spots a little bit more in the second half, hopefully getting in the paint, and let's see if they can build a little lead here.
Yeah, and basketball is such a mental game, and I think obviously they have that easy layup there. The game's cut down to a 2-point lead for community. I think the Ironmen have done a really good job mentally this season. We saw like some struggle with that early on in the season. I think just learning from the losses are huge, and Braylon just having the confidence to take that 3 and knock it down is really mental, and also just a great shot from the leading three-point shooter for community.
Hey, you talked about who that guy is, and probably at the end of the game, it's going to be Braylon Roman with the ball in his hands, either shooting it or making a play for somebody else. Here's a guy who's really stepped up in Nico Newsom. We get a 3 seconds in the lane on Kobe Walker, and that's a call that usually is not called very often. Kind of dusted that one off right there. I think Kobe was trying to get off, get out of the lane right there, but could not do so, and 3-second violation. Tell you the truth, I can't remember the last time that was called.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the ref was doing. Okay.
Here we go, Braylon Romano, and he missed the dunk right there, and it's out of bounds to the Indians. And boy, Braylon would love to have that one back. Well, he really reared back on that one and was going to toss it. And on a scale of 0 to 100, Ben, that would have been a high score if it would have landed in the basket.
That would have been a high score. His head was nearly at the rim there. He kind of cocked it back. He almost had to throw it in and led to a miss there. We might need to get a blown dunkometer this game, honestly. We've seen 3 so far. So.
Yeah. Oh, man, a blown dunkometer?
A blown dunkometer might have to come out for this game.
Ball on the deck now. It's going to be picked up by Braylon Roman. Tried to go behind his back. Kobe Walker's got it, so a little sloppiness there from the Ironmen. But 12-7 our score, 7:09 to go here in the second quarter. Nico Newsom now over to Braylon Roman. Down inside, back out to Connor Smith. He lobs it in for Jaheim. Jaheim brought it down. He regrets that, and he's going to be fouled inside. But if Jaheim just catches that high and keeps it high, that's probably a layup. Brought it a little bit too low. But the rest of the guys could get at it there for Manuka, but Jaheim goes to the line.
Weber was like a magnet for that defense. All of a sudden, the ball goes in, and they all just crowd around him. 4 guys, like you said, Ben.
Yeah, you've had to see. I think you've seen defenses kind of experiment a little bit over the course of the season because I think in the West game we saw a 2-1-2 at one point for the zone. So they've really had to try and do whatever they can just to stop Community's offensive threats, which they have so many.
Now Jaheim's 0 for 2 from the free throw line here as Noah Cleveland back in the lineup. Also Dexter Niekamp comes in as well. Jaheim trying to knock down a free throw here, his first one in 3 attempts. Second free throw up, and he got that one. James been a pretty good free throw shooter so far this year. Not a great start so far, and we see Normal Community now with a little bit of pressure here, trying to speed up the Manuka Indians. Manuka knocked off Geneva in their last contest, 53-45, and now getting inside. Caves threw it out of bounds.
Gabe is not on your team, pal. I'm going to break it to you.
Gabe was open.
Gabe
Gabe made a nice play on it right there from the chair. And
nice catch.
Yeah.
You know, if it was me, I would have shot that 100%. You got to take that shot, you know. That's a perfect chest pass, man. You got to put that up.
I'm going to ask Gabe later why he didn't shoot it. Wide open.
Yep, 100%.
We'll definitely have to get Gabe's perspective on that. We get a foul here against the Indians as Zane Caves will pick up that one. 2 team fouls on Manuka has really been not very many fouls in the game at all here so far. And it's kind of the first quarter, obviously an 8-minute clock, but it only took 9 minutes to play the first quarter here tonight. So this game is really moving along. Noah Cleveland now in the corner. Doesn't take the three-pointer, looking for somebody to pass to, and he's going to throw it away.
A little miscommunication there.
Zane Caves on the other end. Shot up, he missed it. Rebound tipped around inside. Good job by Nico going straight up. Caves has it again. He still can't put it in. And Normal Community's got it. And he throws it over Noah Cleveland.
Oh, my goodness.
And let's see if Jaheim can pick it up, and he does. Nice bounce pass in the flush.
Hey. Okay, there's the dunkometer. He got that one to go down.
Sure, that's exactly how Coach Witzik drew it up in the huddle right there as that ball pinballed around all over the place. And finally, the Ironman able to score down the lane as Hamilton no good. Rebound picked out of there by the Ironman. Here comes Braylon Roman down the lane. He scooped it that time.
Oh, boy.
And a lot of contact, but no call. And, boy, players just kind of flying all over the place here. It's been a little sloppy here so far in the first half. Maybe some nerves the first regional game. But 15-7 Ironman. We'll see if things kind of settle in now here for Manuka on this possession.
I think Manuka's patience is slowly dwindling. And, I mean, they were really taking their time, and now they're taking their time again. But right there, they were trying to force a lot of things on the inside, and that was just letting it go really fast-paced. And Community wasn't doing a great job of taking care of the ball as well.
Yeah,
so I was really sloppy.
Yeah,
there.
I was about to say, I know they've been not very patient, Manuka, but I don't think Community has either. If you have 1 point that you can't do against this game as the 1 seed, you can't get turnovers. And you can't miss layups and dunks like Community's kind of been doing so far. If you want to let Manuka in the game, that's the one way to do it. So,
yeah, maybe they're. And one from Nico Newsom there. I think you heard you say that he missed that layup.
I guess so.
I'm not even sure how to describe that last sequence that we just saw. The ball hit about 10 players there in about 5 seconds. Somehow Nico came up with it and put it in. I guess we'll describe it that way. And Nico will head to the free throw line to complete a 3-point play. It has been a sloppy first quarter here so far, but the Ironmen lead 18-7 in the second quarter now. 4:52 to go before halftime, but it has been sloppy basketball here so far in the regional opener.
Also, the way that he was fouled, I'm not even sure if he could have looked at the basket. He was kind of looking down at the ground when it went in. Knocks down the free throw there. It's another thing from Nico. His free throw shooting's gotten so much better this season as he tries to kick the ball on the inbound.
Yeah, this is certainly a strange game, and I don't know if it's the regional fever or something like that, but
something like that.
Yeah.
I think just trying to get a deflection there as the ball went through. The Ironmen lead by 12, 4:40 now to go here in the second quarter. Manuka almost turned it over again right there as Connor Smith coming down, and now they'll swing the basketball around. 4.5 to go before halftime. And the Indians so far here in the quarter have yet to score in the first 3.5 minutes of quarter number 2. The Ironmen already have 6 points on the board to extend that first quarter lead to 11.
Yeah, this is the strength of the community I see. It seems like they want no part in the paint, but at the same time, they're not a great three-point shooting team. So they got to find a way to get something going here. Maybe just not throw the ball around and fall on the floor, but that's probably not going to get it done.
Yeah, Manuka just about turned it over again. Boy, Nico looked like he was going to pick up a foul right there. No call from the official. Back out front now is Jaden Bowe. Drops it off inside. It looks like the Indians almost had a layup as Brass went down inside. Oh, and a block by Jaheim Weber on the weak side. Coming over. It looked like they were going to score over Trey Burdett right there. And Weber erases that. Connor Smith is going to throw it way out of bounds. Yeah, Mr. Christofferson down there in the corner just about got that basketball right there, taking pictures here this evening.
Yeah, probably saw the logo of the basketball on that one.
See, again, I would have shot that. If I'm Mr. Christofferson, you got to shoot that. There's been some way wire passes today.
There's been a lot of opportunities.
So you're saying drop the camera and take a shot at that point.
100%.
Hey, if it goes in, you're a legend.
Of course, yeah. You're immortalized in community basketball.
Mr. Christofferson does a great job taking pictures of all sorts of events here at Normal Community, from drama to sports and everything in between. Underneath, and another erase shot. Connor Smith that time got to it, and here come the Ironmen back the other way. Noah Cleveland, great pump fake inside, and Noah's got the bucket that time. His second basket of the contest, and Manuka might need another timeout here. It's 20-7 now. We're coming up on 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they had a guy seemingly wide open in the paint. That's great awareness by Connor Smith to go and block that. But, yeah, it just seems like they can't get anything. A timeout would probably benefit them right here.
Now Caves has an open shot. That doesn't go. Even the open shots they're getting are not dropping right now for the Indians. And for Brett Hespel, it's been a bit of a nightmare first half here so far, as his Manuka team has not been able to put points on the board. It was 12-7 Normal Community after one. It's now 20-7 Ironmen here with 2:52 to go before halftime.
And Manuka is a low-scoring program. They score just about 46 points a game, and they give up about 49, so they do have a lot of lower-scoring games. But I'm sure 7 is not what they wanted with 2.5 to go.
Yeah, this is certainly the pace that we saw early, where they really were really patient on the defensive end. They lob it in. There's that high-low down inside for Noah Cleveland. And a foul on Manuka. That is 14 fouls now in the Indians. So one more will put the Ironmen at the line, shooting 2 for the rest of the half.
Yeah, we got a foul on the floor there for Noah. I thought they almost counted that for a second as the layup went through. But Dexter Niekamp will be inbounding it. One away from the bonus for community.
They lob it inside for Braylon Roman. Tough shot inside. Doesn't go. Niecamp's got the rebound. Dexter missed it, and Nico Newsom's got the tip in.
Did he tip that in with his offhand?
I think it was his left hand. Exactly, that's what I think there, Zach. Great job by Nico Newsom on the board. And Manuka does take that time out now, down 22-7. This is an impressive run here by the Ironmen. We talked about Manuka was not going to be intimidated. Normal Community is really taking it to him here so far in the first half.
Yeah, it seems like they're attacking this paint, even though they're seemingly getting hacked every possession. You know, seems like there could have been multiple whistles on that play right there. But Nico, you know, athleticism pays off. He was able to tip that in. But yeah, it's a good job by community to stick to their guns, I guess. You know, go do what they know works, and they've been doing that so far, and they've jumped out to a 22-7 lead so far.
In a 13-0 run from the Ironmen, it was 9-7 in the closing seconds of that first quarter, and now they have a 15-point lead.
Yeah, that's a great point, Zach. You forget that Braylon Roman's 3 came right at the buzzer of that first quarter, and since then it has been all Normal Community looking to push the pace again. They trap the basketball. Caves almost caught it inside. Now he loses it again. A rebound picked out of there by Braylon Roman, and turnovers have been a disaster here for Manuka so far in the first half.
At this point, I bet the team's thinking, will we score in this quarter? Because I think that's pretty rare in high school basketball, definitely. So I feel like the pressure's got to be on at some point just to try and go get a bucket for the Manuka players.
And I think it is. They're really trying to force some stuff, as that last pass that got intercepted by community was thrown right at his feet. So I think they're definitely having that regional jitters, as another missed shot from Manuka. Braylon Roman's taking it the other way.
Now Manuka's got 1:45 to put those first points on the board. Right now, Owen Osborne in the game for Normal Community has the basketball
Watch
right
Nico.
there.
I saw a little screen from Braylon that looked like he was trying to get Nico an open 3 there. Wouldn't be surprised if we go for another screen.
And Manuka's done a nice job pressuring the ball here in this zone as Niekamp couldn't handle it inside. You can see what the coaching staff has talked about. Hey, let's lob the basketball over the top. We've seen a lot of lobs inside to some of the bigger players for Normal Community. The Ironmen a little man-to-man pressure here now in the full court. And again, just trying to speed up the tempo of this game.
Yeah, just about half of Manuka's roster is over 6 foot, so it's a shorter program with their tallest player at 6'5". And Community definitely saw that, so they're really trying to force it in today.
Now in the lane now, shot up is no good, but a foul as DJ Hamilton that time took it all the way in, and now he's got the best opportunity here of the quarter for Manuka to be able to score. 22-7 our score. Hey, remember, coming up next after this one, it will be Rock Island taking on Normal West, and we'll run down the entire regional bracket for you. That's a 4-7 matchup, and there it is. There's the first point of the quarter. DJ Hamilton gets that point for Manuka. Boy, they were on 7 for a really, really long time.
Yeah, he's actually their best free throw shooter. He shoots about 70% from the line, so I'm sure that's who they wanted out at the line.
Now they'll line up a second one here. 22-8 our score. 1:15 to go here in the second quarter, and the second free throw is good. So Manuka able to get a couple points on the board here. The Indians now trail by 13. 1:10 left before halftime. They stay with that zone. It looks like they're really matching up quite a bit in that zone defense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Community has threats all over the court, so you want to make sure you got all of them guarded. Defensively, Manuka, we said, Community's made the point to kind of lob the ball in. It seems like Manuka's also making the point to not let them do that, even though it hasn't been working out too successful. But it seems like they're trying to swat that ball away before it even gets in Community's hands, because they're so great when they get in there.
Connor
Smith
wanted that ball. He was open for a second.
Yeah, he had it right at that high post area, but they couldn't find him in time.
Yeah, he was clapping his hands pretty loud. I could hear it from up here.
35 seconds now to go in the quarter. 30 seconds in the corner. Smith now with the basketball. Finds Roman on a backdoor cut, but it's turned over. Nice job by the Indians right there. 23 seconds now as the Indians come into the front court.
All right, I bet they're thinking about looking at double digits now. They still haven't gotten to double digits in the first half. It's 22-9, a really low-scoring game, which is what Manuka expected, as their average game score is under 50, and a travel, leaving 10 seconds again for Community, just like it was last quarter when Braylon Roman knocked down that 3.
Yeah, 9.6 on the clock here now is the time that the Ironmen have to work with here, as Dexter Niekamp will trigger it in here for the Ironmen.
Let's see if we can see some Braylon last-second magic here.
Braylon with 6 on the clock, gets a screen with 5, cut off with 3, crossover dribble. Braylon will launch it with 2 at the horn. He got another one.
Is that
That's two buzzer beaters.
2 buzzer beaters in 2 quarters? I love to see that, man.
Let's go for 4.
Braylon Roman's got 10 in the game, his first bucket of the quarter, and it's a big one for the Ironmen. They lead by 15 at the half, 24-9, holding Manuka to just 2 points in that second quarter. So really, guys, all Ironmen. Ben, your thoughts of the first half?
Yeah, the scoreboard shows that Ironman pretty healthily in control of this game. But honestly, I don't know if the Ironmen are playing that great, especially if we're in playoff time, regional time, going forward in the sectionals. I don't know if this will hold up against a greater opponent, maybe even the other 2 teams playing, Rock Island West. Because it seems like they're throwing the ball around a lot, They're taking up some layups that maybe aren't the best shots, it seems like they're getting a little frustrated at certain points on offense and defense. I've seen some players getting mad at each other on both sides, kind of throwing the ball around a little bit. I would be interested to see the turnover numbers on both sides, because it's really not been a very clean showcase for either team. But yeah, obviously Manuka has been struggling a lot. Community kind of has taken advantage of that, jumped out to a pretty healthy lead here. But I think if they want to make a long run here, they're really going to want to stress on, cleaning it up in this second half and really doing a clean showing, so that they really instill fear into the rest of the teams in IHSA.
Well, I usually am the devil's advocate, kind of looking at more of the negatives, but I'm going to look at more of the positives for Community. They only gave up 9 points in the first half. Defense has been key. We've been mentioning it all night. They average giving up 44 points a game, and actually in the last 3 games, they've given up 97 points, which is just a really crazy stat. That's about 33 points a game, not even, is what they've been allowing in the last 3 games. So it's been defense, defense, defense. I'm sure that's what they're focusing on in practice, and that's what you have to focus on before big games, before regionals, before, I mean, if you lose, you go home. The season's over. So defense is key, and the ball pressure has just been great, really forcing a lot of turnovers from Manuka over and over and over again. And even though they're trying to be patient, you can tell any time that they try to force it inside, Community is just stealing that ball away. And then on the offensive end, that is where there's some more negatives. But I think that's also from Manuka's defense, really trying to bat it whenever we force it inside. And then the question comes, should we be forcing it inside? Do you think we should, Ben?
Well, I think the height advantage is pretty apparent in this team, but they are very physical as a program. They're really pressing up against guys. And like Mr. Swanson said, it seems like they're kind of manning up in this zone, so there hasn't been as many opportunities of the three for the 3-ball this game. So I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I would like to see, a cleaner, team basketball performance in the second half for sure.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more from Braylon. Seems like he got to the paint pretty easily there. Obviously, there was some nice defense. He just needed a couple crossovers, and he got to the hoop about a wide-open layup. And whenever that clock's ticking, he's able to get a decent shot. So I'm going to expect some more threes in the second half, actually.
Let's take a look at the halftime numbers. First for Normal Community, Braylon Roman led the way with 10 points. Nico Newsom had 5, Jaheim Weber had 5, and Noah Cleveland chipped in 4. So really the 4 big players on the offensive end doing it again for the Ironmen here tonight. On the other side for Manuka, not a whole lot of points on the board. Jaden Bowe had 2. DJ Hampton had 2. Micah Hamilton had 5. That's it for Manuka, 24-9. The score at halftime. The Ironmen have the lead. Let's take a moment right now to take a look at the bracket here in the regional. And so this particular sectional actually is in 2 subsectionals, one in the north and one in the south. So the Normal Community in the northern part of this sectional taking on Manuka tonight. The second matchup here at Normal Community is Rock Island and Normal West. That is a 7:30 scheduled tip, and we'll have that game for you right here on the Ink Spot. We'll be back at 7 o'clock on Friday, and Ben and Zach will have the regional championship game for you on Friday, and we're hoping the Ironmen will be in that, well on their way right now, up by 15. On the other side of this bracket at East Moline United Township, Moline is the 2 seed. They're taking on East Moline United Township tonight. And then Bradley Bourbonnais and Pekin at 7:30. That'll be the 7:30 game, the second game at East Moline this evening. Bradley Bourbonnais, the Boilermakers, taking on the Dragons of Pekin. So that is the northern side of the bracket. The southern side of the bracket looks like this, and there's a lot of good teams down there as well. Collinsville plays Granite City. That is at 6 o'clock tonight. Belleville West plays Belleville East at 7:30. The Battle of Belleville right there. And then at Edwardsville, Quincy plays Alton. Quincy the 2, Alton the 6 seed. And O'Fallon takes on Edwardsville. O'Fallon the 3 and Edwardsville the 5. Well, if we're kind of going by rankings, and take those as you may, probably the top teams coming out of the South are Quincy and Collinsville, the top 2 seed, the K-Hawks and the Blue Devils, both very good, ranked in the top 10 all year. And on the northern side, Normal Community's been in the top 10 all year. Rock Island has been ranked, and also the defending state champs, the Moline Maroons. Watch out for Bradley Bourbonnais as well. They've got a really nice team there, the Boilermakers. And so, Zach and Ben, what do you kind of make of the sectional bracket here the Ironmen have found themselves in? Certainly no easy games for Normal Community going forward.
Yeah, I think it's a really talented sectional. Quincy is just number 5 in 4A, so that's a really talented program. Collinsville's top 10, and looking at our side, Community, we got back up to 6 or 7 this week, and then Rock Island, actually, so they're just the 4 seed in this, but in the 4A poll, they were number 12. And then if you look at Moline, they're also in the poll, and Bradley Bourbonnais knocked off Homewood Flossmoor. Didn't they knock off Homewood Flossmoor?
Yeah, Homewood Flossmoor, one of the top teams in the state, and Bradley Bourbonnais did knock them off a little bit earlier this year, so it shows what the Boilermakers can do.
Yeah, certainly, like what you said, no easy games left really after this point, and that's kind of why I've looked at this game so far as more of like a critical view, because I see, obviously, Manuka, they can play. But I think that if community has bigger aspirations, they really want to be able to have a clean second half in this game and really show that they're not fazed by the playoff pressure. They're not, they've had all this pressure all season. They're not going to fold. They're not going to fold under pressure in any of this moments. They're playing at their home court. I think this would be a great game for them just to go out and dominate this second half, play a clean game to get them ready to go, and hopefully a regional championship on Friday, and then hopefully even farther for that.
Yeah, we've been talking about the playoffs, and for those at home that are like, how does that work? Because it is kind of confusing with basketball. So basically, in 4A, there's 8 regional groupings, 16 teams per grouping, which is the sectional that we've been talking about, the Pekin sectional for normal community. There's actually a total of 128 teams in the IHSA 4A playoffs. So if you kind of think of it like March Madness, just with one extra round, 128 teams. Starts with the regional semifinals, then the regional finals, moves on to sectional semifinals and sectional finals. So that is the Pekin sectional. Then the winner of that goes on to super sectionals and state semifinals and the state finals, which I believe is at the U of I this year.
Yeah, it's at the State Farm Center in Champaign. One of the things I want to mention at halftime, and kind of a historical mark for Coach Witzik, we talked about his 500th win about a month or so ago, a little bit more than that now. But with the wins this year, Coach Witzik is up to 520 career wins. That puts him then in the top 50 all time in the state of Illinois for coaches at a single school. His 520 wins puts him in the top 50 all time. When you start kind of going through this list of who Coach Witzik is going to catch in the next few years, boy, you look at some really big names. Rich Herron, who was at Benton for a long time, ended up coaching at Southern Illinois University. Wayne Hammerton, the longtime coach at Peoria Richwoods. Chuck Bisher, the longtime coach at Peoria High. Rodney Keller, the longtime coach at Ridgeview High School. Dick Van Sciak, the legendary coach at Peoria Manual. These are some of the coaches that Coach Witzik, I know, would have grown up when he played at Morton High School competing against. And boy, that is just a huge list, and he is starting to work his way up that list. It just shows what a great career he has had at Normal Community, but also the dedication to stay at the single school and coach Normal Community High School basketball for as long as he has.
Yeah, that's really cool that he actually played against them when they were coaches. Kind of reminds me of like LeBron James. Now there's all these players coming in that like grew up. They were like 0 and like they weren't even born yet. And LeBron James was in the league and they were looking up to him. So I think that's like a cool full circle moment.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Coach Witzik would have been coming through Morton High School. Coach Bisher, Coach Van Sciak, they would have been the dominant coaches in the Peoria area, coaching Peoria Manual, Peoria High. So congratulations, though, to Coach Witzik. An outstanding career and a lot more wins to come for Coach Witzik as well. Hoping for another one here in the second half. We are 30 seconds away from tipping things off here at Normal Community High School for the second half. And Ben, let's start with you. What are you looking at and what we're going to see in half number 2?
Yeah, like I said before, I think Community's pretty much in control of this game right now from the looks of it, just looking at the scoreboard. But I think I want to see a much more cleaner half from Community. I want to see them, kind of protect the ball a little bit more, maybe get to their spots a little better, because it seems like if they were trying to just, go into the paint at times, just looking for fouls a little bit, which that's not a bad strategy, but at the end of the day, once you start facing these tougher teams, you're going to have to make some tough shots. So I think this would be a good half for Community to work on stuff that they need to improve on going into more regional games.
I'm ready for a scoring outburst. The third quarter is Community's highest scoring quarter, and even in the game against Moline where Community scored 31, 12 of those points came in the third quarter.
Yeah, we see the trap in the half court, and boy, Manuka did a nice job of breaking it down right there. And you got to think they talked about that at halftime, able to maybe to break it down a little bit, a little chalk talk at half there. Hey, this is what they're doing. Here's how we need to counter it. And right there, really good job by Coach Brett Hespel to have his team ready to start the second half with an easy bucket inside. And that's as many points as they scored in that second quarter right there with that lone bucket.
Yeah, and it's been 24 seconds, so I bet that feels pretty good for Manuka to get that shot to go in, and not even just that shot, a wide open shot, really just creating that opportunity.
Yeah, nice job that time by the Indians throwing over the top. Ben, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say, it seems like Manuka was a lot more patient in that possession, which is something we haven't seen so far. The guy was getting trapped at the top. He kind of just waited a second and found the open guy.
I can't tell you how hard it is to throw over the top, as I think the ball went out of bounds, and it did. But trying to throw over the top of that pressure, especially that trap, because Normal Community has so much size and so much length, it's hard to see. Really nice job that time by the Indians to throw over the top and get the easy layup.
Yeah, I actually thought that ball right there was going to be Manuka's ball, but it looks like it didn't go out of bounds. Hampton thought differently. Community still got it here, trying to force it in again to Jaheim Weber. Got double teamed and fouled on the floor.
Yeah, one of the Manuka Indians ended up on the floor there for just a second. And boy, you got DJ Hampton, and Hampton is 6'5". He just doesn't have the frame down there to be able to stick with Jaheim, and the Ironmen trying to force that basketball in.
Yeah, more of a Chet Holmgren frame.
Of course.
Hey, nothing's wrong with that. Chet Holmgren's a great player.
Nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with that either, as Noah Cleveland gets the dunk inside. He's got 6 now in the contest. It's 26-11.
Nice slam there. What's the dunk-o-meter, Ben?
I'll say a little 82.68. That was a little something calm, but it's nice. Just took one dribble, dunked it. Nice little calm dunk to start off the half. I like it.
I'm going to give it an 85. Pretty powerful, pretty powerful.
Pretty powerful in the way he dunked it down.
Yep.
All right.
Again, a good job there by Manuka to break the pressure, seeing over the top, but did not attack on the backside like they did last time where they got a wide open layup. Again, the Indians will be patient. The hard part is being patient down by 15. That's going to be difficult for the Indians here in the second half.
Jaheim Weber tipped that one out of bounds there, keeping his hands active.
Don't forget, coming up here on the Ink Spot, Game 2, Rock Island 23-8, Normal West 11-19, and there's a three. Jaden Bowes got his second bucket of the third quarter. Now it's 26-14 and starting to see some life here from Manuka as they got 5 points now already here in the quarter.
And if I'm not mistaken, that probably brings them to the top of their scoring leaderboard so far, right? Because he only has 5. He has 5 points when the next leading scorer was 5.
Yeah, he's got 7 in the game. Yeah, he is their leading scorer now on the night. Braylon Roman, 3 is down. Braylon's got his third triple of the night. He's got 13, and the lead goes back to 15.
Braylon with a little anything you can do, I can do better, knocking down that 3.
Yeah, nice look that time for Braylon Roman, and he has really developed into that scorer for Normal Community. He scores when they need him to, and certainly he's done a nice job so far tonight. He's got 13 of the 29 for the Ironmen on the board.
Yeah, and his range has been something that's been on display all year. I don't know if the last time I saw him took a 3 that's only like on the line. It seems like every 3 he takes is a few steps back. Yeah, and it really just shows his versatility.
Absolutely.
Seems to keep
deep
going
threes.
back and back and back. He's ready for the NBA.
I guess
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
With the basketball out front now is Wes Owens as they continue to try to break down this Normal Community. This is what we saw early in the contest where they were extremely patient, and the Ironmen were able to speed them up quite a bit in quarter number 2. Nico Newsom playing the defense right there. Boy, the count is on, and there it is. 5-second violation against Manuka as Nico Newsom getting it done at the defensive end. And boy, there was a lot of contact there as well. The officials have really let them play here so far tonight. 29-14, 5 minutes to go, third period.
And Nico's a really intelligent basketball player. I think he kind of saw that from the beginning when they let him do that. So he's just had some really tight coverage tonight. He's doing a great job getting a little physical.
Inside,
And
Jaheim Weber
right
puts
there.
one home. He's got 7 now in the game. And Normal Community now has opened up a 17-point lead here, and we got a foul coming up on the Ironmen.
Yeah, and talking about Nico, he's a 6'5" frame, but he moves really light on his feet. He's really good. He moves really well on the basketball court, and he's probably one of the Ironmen's best defenders, maybe their best. Because we saw in that West game that they played earlier, he was on their best player, Nate Moore, which we'll see in this game coming up. But yeah, it seems like he's always on one of their best players, and he's really doing a great job, and he uses his big frame right there to box out the player and let the ball go out of bounds.
Yeah,
DJ Hampton missed a 3 that time for the Indians.
Throughout the season, everything from Nico's really gotten better. His three-point shooting, free throw percentage, defense, scoring ability. It's really everything. He's starting to turn into an all-around player, a lot like Braylon Roman. As Dexter moves it over to Noah, loving this ball movement. Nico to Braylon.
Here's the 3 on the way. That doesn't go down. Noah Cleveland's got the rebound. One dribble, and he'll put it home.
See, that's the clean little finish that I like to see from the Ironman. That's what I was looking for. He got the rebound, used his height to his advantage, took one dribble, and just put it back up.
The Ironman looking for the knockout punch now here in the third quarter. Almost tipped away that time. Here comes Noah Cleveland. Down low, gets it off for Niekamp inside. Dexter missed it. Rebound tipped around in there. It'll be picked out of there by the Indians.
I thought that was going to be the knockout punch there. Nico went for another steal.
Jaden Bowe now able to settle things down here for Manuka. 3:45 for the third, 33-14. The Ironmen lead inside, and an easy one that time for Wes Owens.
That's one of the few times that Manuka's been open, just getting around there, and then the Manuka player has found him on the pass. So that's a good job by Manuka to get that open and one there.
Yeah, Wes Owens he's a very good shooter. He shoots 67% from 2-pointers, 57% from the field. He's a very efficient player.
Now Kobe Walker enters the lineup here for Normal Community. A 6'9" junior coming off the bench. 33-16 our score. The Ironmen have doubled up the Indians, now 33-17 as Wes Owens, that was his first bucket a moment ago, and his first free throw there. He's got 3 points now in the contest. That trims the lead to 16. It looked like the Ironmen were going to push it to 20. Oh, that ball just about picked off.
Whoa.
Great job by Braylon Roman as a poor pass that time, just about picked off that right there by the Indians.
And he jumped right into Trey Bass, and it looks like Trey Bass looked like he was going to go in there, but they've had great defense on him. He's been trying to get in all game, and Bass has been denied of any shot opportunities.
And Brass has the basketball right now, try to get it down low for Owens. Back out for Brass, and again, that harassing defense by the Ironmen. Nowhere to go, gets down inside, runs into Jaheim Weber. Got the Twin Towers in there right now for Normal Community, and Walker and Weber. Yes, back out front now for Bowe.
Yeah, that would certainly be intimidating for anyone, especially Manuka players. You know, that just seeing in there, just seeing 2 6'9" guys with their hands straight up, not much you can do.
Yeah, they take up a lot of space inside in that lane area as Jaden Bowe gets all the way down inside, back out for Brass. Brass now on the baseline, nowhere to go. Well, gets that basketball over to Deckinga. Back outside and tipped away by Braylon Roman, and good defense that time by the Ironmen.
Man, talk about some defense. That was excellent. I feel like that was over a minute. The Ironmen were just all over that, and that was some really good ball pressure.
Yeah, it seems like it was kind of an unintentional time wasting from Manuka because they're down. Let's see if I can do some math here. They're down 16, so they probably don't want to take a really long time on possessions, but it seems like Community just had the clamps on them, and there wasn't much they could do to get open at all.
And I'm watching out for number 34, Bowe. He's their best shooter. He actually is the best shooter if we're looking at three-point percentage in the game, shooting 37%. So he's a sharp shooter, and we saw him make one earlier. He finally got the ball back.
Zane Caves missed that drive right there for Manuka. Now the Ironmen looking to extend a 16-point lead here. 2:09 to go in the third quarter.
Looked like Connor wanted a screen there from Kobe Walker. We got a little double screen trying to get Dexter Niekamp open. Braylon's going to take his time.
Yeah, Manuka's doing a really good job matching up in their zone. You can kind of see them pointing out. They'll man up within the area there as Kobe Walker turns and finds Braylon Roman. And matchup zones can be hard to deal with, and Manuka's played it well here so far tonight down the lane, and we'll have a block against the Indians. Tough call that time against Manuka, and Connor Smith will find himself at the line.
Yeah, and their head coach, Hespel, was not happy. Both hands in the air. I could hear the shout from up here. So it's hard to call. It's hard to call charges because if they're moving just a little bit, that's a defensive foul. It's a block.
Connor Smith at the line. First free throw up. That's around and in.
It's interesting seeing Connor Smith go for the layup there. We see a lot of threes from Smith. I'd like to see, he's got some nice handles. It was nice to see him go in there, get fouled. Good effort.
Yeah, I think that's what's led to him getting more minutes this season was on. He's really emerged as a ball handler for the community. As like we said, like we were concerned about earlier in the year, you know, if Braylon is getting denied the ball, who else can you look to? And I think Connor's really stepped up as that guy that can not only go get a bucket, but he can really dribble the clock down like we've seen in, you know, the Richwoods game, the Peoria High game. He got meaningful minutes in all those games, and it's really showed that he's an important player in this community team and one that community will get back next year as he's only a junior.
And Jaheim Weber gets the block inside as Deckinga went up with that one and got it swatted away. Smith now looked at it for just a moment, finds Kobe Walker with a nice turn inside. Really nice job by Kobe, catching it high, keeping it high, and finishing near the bucket right there. And for the first time, Normal Community up 20.
And what a feed from Smith there. That's exactly where you want the ball right there. Just a little pivot step, knocked that one in, and I think I thought he stepped out of bounds there, but it looks like Bass got pushed out by, I think, Braylon.
Yeah, I think he stepped out. I think he got some help, though, from Braylon Roman right there, and that's what the official called. 13th foul on the Ironmen, so 2 more, and There will be 2 free throws for Minooka. 37-17. It was a second quarter where the Ironmen really opened it up 12-7 after 1, but it was 24-9 at the break. This has been Minooka's best offensive quarter here so far, and they've only scored 8 points. Looking for more. Another steal by the Ironmen. Kobe Walker got a hand on that. Connor Smith down in the lane. Off to Jaheim Weber. Back outside for Owen Osborne, and they'll swing it around for Trey Burton and set the offense.
Yeah, Trey Burton just subbed into the game. We just talked about Connor, and now Trey's in. We've really seen these community guards that weren't really established coming into the year, come into their own a little bit. And, going into the playoff where you need good defense on the perimeter, you need good ball handling. That's really something that's very important, and I think that'll pay off for him. And also, Marcus Russell is back on the team. We thought it was a season-ending injury, but he's back on the bench. Looks ready to play this game, too. So that's going to be very important for community going down the stretch.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Russell gets some minutes tonight, kind of get his feet under him. He is a really big defender for the Ironmen, one of the best.
Inside now, Owens. Nice move. That just doesn't quite go down that time.
That's very
Rebound picked out of there by the Ironmen. Burdette with 7. Down the lane, tried to dish it off for Owen Osborne. Now with 5. Oh, that was a high pass right there. There's the finish they needed right there. Zane Caves lays it in, and that is the end of the third quarter. Well, Minooka had their best quarter of the game. They put up 10 in that quarter. They still trail by 18, 37-19. Normal Community leads. We head to the fourth quarter. Thanks for watching the action here tonight on the Ink Spot. We got one more quarter to go, and real quickly here before we start the fourth, Zach and Ben, you want to share a little bit what we got going on in the Ink Spot right now and what we're writing and what we're doing?
In the Ink Spot on the news currently, one of my favorite series that just came about was the podcast series inspired by Mr. Bodenkirk. He said he had a series called What's Making You Happy This Week. So we just had the journalism students, everyone on the Ink Spot. It's a big room. It's about 2 classes. So he just puts a few of us together each week. He asks us and we just talk about, one thing that made us happy this week. And, if you're looking just for an enjoyable little simple, they're not very long. They're like 12 minutes maybe. If you're just looking for a simple little watch, maybe driving to work, to the gym, something like that. If you're just driving, want something that'll brighten your day up a little bit, I think that's a great little thing to, listen to, tune in to see what our Ink Spot students are doing.
Yeah, and then looking at more the reading standpoint, girls just moved on to the sectional semifinals. And we got a couple articles out about new student council sponsor, comfort viewing, and actually Allie Ince and Dexter Niekamp were just named to the 2024 IHSA All-State Academic Team. Lots of articles on the Ink Spot. Make sure to check it out.
Yeah, Ink Spot, Normal Community Ink Spot. Look it up and join the Ink Spot to get everything about Normal Community High School, the athletics, the academics, the drama, everything that's happening in the world of the Ironmen. Well, right now here on the basketball court, it's 37-19 our score. Normal Community has the lead, looking to get to that regional final. Jaheim Weber inside, had it knocked away, and Minooka's done a nice job inside and down. There's a basket that time. Wes Owens has another one. He's got 5 now in the contest. And it's 37-21. Minooka trying to make a run here early in the fourth quarter.
That was a great defensive effort by Noah there, but that's just a better finish by Minooka. And like you said, they're trying to make a run here. It seems like they're definitely upping the perimeter pressure on Braylon and Nico. And it seemed on that last play, they only had one guy on Jaheim in the paint. So they certainly want to get some steals and get going here.
Now the Ironmen turn it over again as Minooka has picked up the pressure. The Ironmen have turned the ball over now on the last 2 possessions. Chance now for the Indians get a little closer, down by 16, under 7 minutes to go here in this regional semifinal game. Normal, West, and Rock Island is game 2 here from Normal Community High School tonight. We'll have it for you right here on the Ink Spots. If you're tuning in from across town or the Quad Cities, that is a 7:30 scheduled tip after this one finishes up. And a travel called outside on Jaden Bowe, and it looks like we're going to be heading our way probably for a tip-on time tonight between the Wildcats and the Rocks.
Yeah, that'll certainly be a good matchup. Both teams that communities beat, but both teams that communities have played really close games against. I know they beat West only by 3 points, and they beat Rock Island by about 15 points, but they've also been on a run. I believe they're 23-8 on the season.
Yes,
so they're certainly a formidable team.
Nico Newsom down the lane. He gets the finish right there and has a chance for the and one. And we did talk about this in our last game against Moline. They did knock off Rock Island. Was that a 12-point game there, or 61-49, I think was the final in that one? Might be a number off or two for the Ironmen in that contest, but that was a long time ago, and Rock Island has really played good basketball this season. That's going to be a tough matchup for Normal West and then possibly for Community. Here's the lob, and Nico throws it home.
He threw that down with some aggression, man. I like that.
Give me the dunkometer.
I think that's a 96.89, bro.
That was nice. We might see another one.
That was pretty incredible. That's what I've been waiting to see the whole game. You know, get the crowd going a little bit. Just a great. We've had trouble with passes all night. I really like to see that right there, and that's a great finish by Nico.
The connection between Braylon and Nico on those alley-oops is just electric.
Yeah, they played AAU team over the summer, I know, for a few years now, so it seems like it's just been waiting to happen the whole year, and they're finally starting to show their little connection with the alley-oops these last few games, and it's really been something special to see.
Yes, Nico now in double digits, 10 points for the senior. Weber now off to Braylon Roman, sidesteps a man up with the right hand, just didn't quite go down that time. Rebound Manuka. Normal Community has doubled up the Indians, now at 42-21 our score. 5:45 to go here in the ball game.
And Mr. Swanson, looking back at, you were talking about Rock Island, that upcoming game. They've played Moline twice this year, actually. Lost to Moline by 4 and beat them the next time by 2. So this is a really talented team. Yeah,
it certainly is. And the Rocks are athletic. They can get up and down the floor, and that's what the Wildcats will be facing in game number 2 as Zane Caves, the 6'4 sophomore, knocks in a 3. Caves now has 5 points in the contest, trims that Normal Community lead now to 18. That will be a 7 o'clock tip for the regional final. That will be Friday night. And boy, Friday night regional championship night across the state. There will be some electricity in the air depending, no matter who the opponent is for the Ironmen, if they can hold on to this 18-point lead.
If it's West, this place is going to be rocking.
Yeah, that would be pretty incredible, man.
Friday night regional championship. Either way, Friday night regional championship at home, this place is going to be rocking. But if it's West, woo!
Yeah, either way, yeah, I think it'll be pretty incredible. You know, we haven't seen maybe necessarily huge crowds for Community all season, but I think that's just because we're so good that we play not so great competition, and it's not always like entertaining games. So maybe you could say we're too good for our own good, but I think as we get farther in these regionals and sectional games, it'll really start to ramp up, and I really want to see a packed house on Friday if we make it there, hopefully.
And in that game against Richwoods, that was a packed house.
Yeah, 100%. That was probably one of the most electric crowds of the season. And the West one also. I know one of the first games of the year at Wesley, and that was pretty crowded, you know. And then the West game just this past week, I think that was probably one of the biggest student sections I've seen so far.
It's a really nice student section. That was a fun game.
If you get a chance Friday night, come on out to Normal Community High School. Looks like the Ironmen are going to be there. 18-point lead right now, 5.5 to go. Braylon Roman, a 3. That's a rounded out right there. Good look. And again, there's that connection between Newsom and Roman right there, as Nico Newsom that time had to deliver to the outside. Yeah, you know, down the lane, putting it up, and no good that time for Trey Brass, and a foul coming up on the Indians.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know it doesn't seem like Braylon's having his best night. You know, he's missed some layups, he's missed some 3, but Community is still up by a hearty amount. So I think that's a pretty good sign going into this postseason. We've seen players like Nico and Jaheim step up this game 100%. So although Braylon is really considered that guy on this team, it's really encouraging to see that they can have such a big blowout win.
And a time out there for Coach Witzik. Yeah, Braylon Roman has 13 in the contest. Nico Newsom has 10 for Normal Community. Noah Cleveland's chipped in 8. Jaheim Weber 7. Kobe Walker has a lone bucket. On the other side right now for Manuka, Jaden Bowe, leading scorer. He's got 7 in the contest. Micah Hamilton, Zach, you had talked about him. He only has 5 in the game. Zane Caves has 5, 2 for DJ Hamilton, and 5 for Wes Owens for Manuka. You talked about them being a pretty low-scoring team. That's kind of what we've seen so far in this contest.
Yeah, and they do just score about 46 points a game. Obviously tonight, they'd be lucky to get up to 30. But I think another thing you talked about, keeping Hamilton to 5. That's really key for Community because all season they've done a great job of holding the best player on the opposing team to not some, like we've had some great opponents, the number 1 team in state, or the number 1 player in state, number 2 player in state, and number 3 player in state, and none of them got 20 plus. I think Community does a really good job of shutting down that star player.
Newsom down the lane and a charge. Nice job that time by the Indians, able to step in. I think that was Wes Owens that time, and it was, who took the charge. So Nico Newsom picks up his 3rd personal foul. First team foul on the Ironmen here in the 4th period. So Minooka still ways away from shooting 2.
Looks like Wes Owens even took a little hit to the face there on that one. I mean, really laying it on the line, down 18. That just shows dedication to your team.
And I do believe the volleyball standard right there came up here at Normal Community. So Minooka will have the basketball here. 5:03 to go in the game, and Jaden Bowe back in the contest for Minooka. He's got 7 points in the game. An 18-point deficit. We'll see if the Indians can trim into that and try to push the Ironmen a little bit here at the end.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Bowe a lot here. They need a lot of points, and he's their 3-point shooter. Looks like he might be trying to get open at that corner 3.
All the way down inside. Brass kicks it back out now for Zane Caves. Pull up 15-footer. Doesn't go down. Rebound picked out of there by the Ironmen.
Caves is just, didn't you say Caves is just a sophomore?
Yeah, just a sophomore out there at 6'4". Oh, nice pass for Niekamp.
Wow.
And it's another flush for Jaheim Weber.
That's just pure athleticism from Dexter there. You know, 3-sport athlete, it really showed there. That was just a great pass on the jump.
It's 5 dunks on the night. Just took a look over at the dunkometer.
Inside there is Micah Hamilton, who lays one in. Dexter, outstanding football player. Starter on the basketball team, and he'll just shift right over to baseball once this is all done. 3-sport athlete, does an outstanding job in all of those different sports for the Ironmen.
Yeah, he's all-team IHSA.
Yeah, great student too. You know, I know he hits bombs in baseball. I'm pretty sure he hit a grand slam last year in one game. So
Woo!
He does it all.
He just does it all, man. Nothing you can do to stop him.
Yeah, I just about saw Dexter put a hole in somebody's car there that had parked it in right field last year.
Wow.
And, yeah, he can get a hold of the baseball. But right now, all of his focus is on the basketball floor right now. His team leads by 17 with 4:15 to go. And Braylon Roman hits the deck right here. There's a foul coming up on the Indians.
Bass gave him a hand to pick him up there. Nice to see sportsmanship there. I know Braylon's really locked him up all night, but still giving him a hand. It's big.
Yeah, every time Braylon Roman, though, hits the deck, well, you want to avoid injury, and he is
scary.
a key cog for Normal Community, probably the key for the Ironmen. He would probably be the most difficult guy to replace for Normal Community if he were to go down. That's the value that Braylon Roman really brings to the team.
Yeah, 100%, man. He's really just the all-around defensive guy, you know, ball-handling guy. He's the best three-point shooter on the team, I'm pretty sure. He can get going downhill, averages the most assists with 3. He's really just someone that you can't really replace as an Ironman team, especially with so many big guys. You need that ball handler just to facilitate the offense. And just, yeah, you'd be a tough guy to replace on this team.
Yeah, Michael Hamilton just picked up his 4th foul for Minooka, so that's something to watch right now.
Yeah, Roman leads the team in points, minutes, steals, assists. So lots of big categories that he leads this really talented team in.
He's had to do quite a bit for the Ironmen, handle the basketball, do some scoring out there for Normal Community. And some of the games where they've really struggled offensively, Braylon's had to carry them a little bit at times. Gene Weber trying to catch that lob in there, but Minooka's done a really good job of collapsing down inside and trying to take away that painted area for the Ironmen. There's Braylon Roman. That's a left-hand finish.
That's a good finish.
Nice little finger roll there.
Yeah, and you know something about Braylon, you know, he's played varsity for 3 years now, and you know, community's run regionals 3 straight years, but they never really got over that hump, made it to the State Farm Center. So I think in Braylon's senior year, he would really love to make it to the State Farm Center, you know, make a long run with this team because he's been here so long.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, that would be an incredible experience for community and just everyone in this whole atmosphere.
And he already
Weber inside. Weber lays one home.
And he already has about 5 D1 offers, and I'm sure if you make it to the big stage like that, you're going to have a lot more teams calling your name.
48-30 now our score. Boy, things picking up offensively as Minooka attacking the glass. It's Micah Hamilton. Yeah, the Braylon Roman came off the bench 2 years ago for a Normal Community team that was very highly ranked and lost in the sectional championship game to Quincy at Pekin. So might see the Blue Devils again. Quincy lost to Bolingbrook that year in the super sectional, and Glenbard West was the state champion in 2022. Free throw coming up here now, and it's down for Micah Hamilton, but that was a very, very good Normal Community team a couple years ago that just didn't quite make the state finals.
Yeah, that sectional championship, that's like Sweet 16, if you're kind of looking at it from college terms, so they haven't made it past that in quite a while.
Yeah, and that team, I think, was 33-2, if I'm not mistaken.
They were.
That's correct,
Very great record, very great team, like you said. But despite all that, before the season, when we talked to Coach Witzik, he said this was the most talented team he's coached in decades.
Yeah, that team had Zach Cleveland on it, who's playing at Liberty and doing a great job. Trey Red as well. Had some really good players in that club. Connor Smith's shot is no good. Picked out by Dexter. Flips it back now to Noah Cleveland. Cleveland almost lost it. Inside for Dexter. Pump fake, and he will put it home.
Let's go, Dex.
A nice finish there from Dexter. I thought he was going to do a little shovel pass to Jaheim. Instead, he puts it home himself with the and one.
Yeah, you know, Ty Niekamp, another guy on that 2021 team that was so great. He didn't exactly play as much, but, you know, shout out to him. Yeah, but at the same time, that team was so great, and then the fact that Coach Witzik thinks that this is probably the best team that he's coached in these past 10 years shows that he really has confidence in this team and thinks they can make a really great run this year, and I'm really going to be excited to see how far they can go.
And it also goes to show kind of the schedule that Community's played this year, because you look at that team, 33-2, then this year 26-5. So if you're just looking at paper, you're like, oh, that team's better, right? Well, then you look at who we've played this year. Our losses have come to Thornton, Waubonsie Valley, Downers Grove North, Bennett Academy, Metamora. They're all top 10. They're all top 10 in 4A or 3A. So those are really talented programs, and it's been a really tough schedule. I think that's going to be big coming into these harder games. We've been prepared for it all season.
That doesn't even count the teams the Normal Community has beaten as well that are top-ranked at Richwoods, Moline, Kenwood. A lot of really good teams the Ironmen have also beaten. So they knew this team was going to be good, and they scheduled for it. There's no doubt about it, and they did a really good job scheduling throughout the season.
Yeah, they really did do a great job. And like another big win against DePaul College Prep, that was a huge one too.
Yeah, DePaul College Prep actually the last few weeks has looked like a juggernaut out there as they are in 3A, and they might actually be one of the favorites to win that 3A state championship. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, if you had to describe Community in 2 words, you could say battle-tested, because they've certainly played some very difficult games. You know, they've won some, they've lost some, but it all comes down to this. This is what all comes down to, I guess, which I just said.
Yeah, Zach, I'm glad that you brought up DePaul College Prep, because I did not mean to leave them off the list, but they might be on the top of the list for the teams that Normal Community has beaten this year.
Yeah, they're actually number 3 in 3A, and then Thornton and Metamora, the 2 teams the Community did lose to, number 1 and number 2 in 3A. Those were also pretty close games, so really tough schedule. And then if we look at 4A and the Pekin Sectional, who Community's going to see before they can get to that Super Sectional so they can make it past that Sweet 16 mark, number 5 in 4A Quincy, number 7 in 4A Collinsville, and then number 6 in 4A is Normal Community.
Yeah, this entire conversation would be making Coach Witzik nervous right now, because he's thinking about only 2 teams, Normal West and Rock Island, trying to get out of the regional. But that's what coaches have to do. They got to keep the team focused, especially in a one-and-done tournament. It is one at a time, but we have the excitement and the fun of kind of projecting ahead a little bit of what the tournament trail might look like for the Ironmen. We hope it's going to be long.
And you talked about Rock Island and Normal West, and they are waiting patiently for this game to be over. I think they're ready.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tip on time for that contest. It's scheduled for 7:30. Oh, Kobe Walker got an erase right there at the rim. And now Normal Community comes back the other way. Connor Smith now is about to face a trap in the corner. We'll see if he's going to burn a timeout. He won't. Back out front for Noah Cleveland, and they will reset the offense. 51-32, 1:40 to go here in the contest, and Noah threw the basketball out of bounds. And there's Mac Brennan. Good to see Mac on the floor here. Going to get some time at the end of this regional game as well. And sporting the nice colored shoes there, number 30 on the floor. We'll see if he's going to put up a 3 before the night's over.
Yeah, fan favorite there. I think those might be Kobe's on his feet.
You would know, Zach. Yep.
Yeah,
even from this distance, right? You can almost pick them out.
Me personally, I'm hitting the over on Mac for 3s, you know. Over 1 at least, man. I think he loves to shoot the ball, you know. Whenever he gets in the game, he makes his impact known. And
is this attempts or makes, Ben, on over 1?
The attempts? Hey, I have confidence in my boy Mac. I think he makes one.
He makes one.
I'm gonna say over on the 1 for makes.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna go 1 for 2. He's gonna take 2 threes.
You know, he can dish it out too, though. He can throw assists, so he's always
one for 1 and an assist.
Yeah, 1 to find the open guy. You know, he's 1 to find the paint presence. You know, Mac's really just a guy that makes his impact known whenever he goes in the game, and that's what you love to see, you know.
And he's a fan favorite just because of that.
Fan favorite, gets the crowd hype. You know, congratulations to him, actually. He just committed to St. Ambrose for football, so he'll be going there. in the fall, and just that's what high school basketball is all about. Getting the seniors in the game, getting the fun time, and this is certainly a great win for community.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Normal Community heading for Friday night. It'll be a regional championship night across the state, 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A. It is going to be a ton of fun here the rest of the way, and the Ironmen looking to win another regional championship here in 2024. That's a travel right there for Bo, as Connor Smith was able to jump out on that flare screen right there and take that away. Well defended. And you guys have mentioned it, but the Ironmen's defense has hit another level here over the last couple weeks. And that could be what carries them if they're able to make a run here the rest of the way.
And if they can keep them down under 34, that will be the fourth straight game that the Ironmen have kept their opponents under 34 points, which is that's a remarkable clip.
Yeah, they've been really playing well at the defensive end tonight, putting 51 on the board here. They lead by 19 with 1:15 to go. Trey Burdett now has the basketball. Hey, don't forget as well that the girls basketball team for Normal Community will play for the sectional championship tomorrow night at Pekin. They'll be taking on Alton. The Alton Redbirds will be the opponent. Alton has a very good team. But if you get a chance, get out to Pekin tomorrow. There's your guy, Mac Brennan, inside. He draws the foul.
I was feeling an and one there for a second.
Hey, I would not be surprised, man. Hey,
where's the over-under for threes? What's going on?
Hey, man.
Where's the three-point attempt?
They're not feeding my boy the ball, man.
I saw him open in the corner for a little bit.
Yeah.
Mac now will line one up, free throw up, and he got it.
Nice shot.
And gentlemen, that is right. That's Pekin tomorrow night for the girls. Is that correct?
Yeah. And honestly, I went to the game yesterday, their sectional game against. I'm not sure.
They won by 20.
United Township?
It was East Moline United Township.
Yeah, that game, that was very close. That was a very exciting game to watch. The girls team can really shoot it very well. And they were actually going down into the second half. They were down by about 5. I think one of the other East Moline's players had about 21 out of their 30 points or something like that. So that was certainly a great game to watch, and it was a great win for the girls team. I think they can go far too. So it's just a great year for community basketball in general.
Yeah, they're one of 16 teams in 4A now.
Yeah, they were knocked out in the sectional final a year ago by O'Fallon. O'Fallon went on to win the 4A state championship last year after knocking off the Lady Iron inside, and I missed that time by Zach Caves as he went all the way to the basket and couldn't finish right there. And now with 25 seconds to go.
Mac with some great defense against Zach.
The over-under might not hit, man.
I thought I would have holding it.
I was looking for a logo shot right there from Mac. I'm not going to lie.
No, not going to hold it. Trey Burdett down the lane, and Mac Brennan's got it. We'll see if he can back it out for the three. Nope, we go under 10. It's going to circle around, and the no-look pass that time to Trey Burdett. Less than 5 seconds now to go in the contest, and that will do it. The Ironmen get the victory tonight, 53-32, the final over Manuka. And Ben, let's start with you. Your thoughts on the contest?
Yeah, well, I think this is, like we said, it was kind of a sloppy game in the first half. It was kind of a weird game. Manuka did not score a lot of points, but we jumped out to a big lead, but we weren't playing very well, throwing the ball around. I think the second half was much more of Ironman basketball-esque. They kind of got the ball wherever they wanted. They were able to get to their spots. We got Braylon Roman going downhill. We got Nico Newsom going downhill. We were able to feed the ball to Jaheim and get buckets there. And, like we said, the highlight of the night was the defense, man. This defense has just been crazy these last few games. They've really stepped it up. And I think they've really turned into a more defensive-minded team overall, because I think they've kind of realized that, good defense turns into good offense. And rather than just, struggling to try to make a bucket and, focusing on getting buckets because they have had troubles scoring, I think they've just realized that if they play good defense and lock down a possession, they'll be in a great position to win the game, especially with all these scorers and athletes that they have on the floor like was showcased tonight.
Yeah, defense wins championships, and that's one round done, regional semifinals. So I think Community did show a really good showing on the defensive end, only giving up 32 points, which is 12 under this season, actually 14 under the season average of what Community gives up, giving up about 46 points a game. And like I said, lately, they have been giving up just about 30 points a game in the last 4 games. So that that's really taken off for Community. Looking on the offensive end, Braylon Roman and Nico Newsom continue to dominate. At the start of the season, it was a lot of Noah Cleveland and Jaheim Weber with the big guys dominating. And as we've gotten, they get a lot of attention. They're a lot taller. They're both 6'9", or sometimes they say Jaheim's 6'10". So two really tall guys, and they get a lot of the attention, which leaves Nico and Braylon for more scoring opportunities, and they've really been showing up lately. And I think it's the last 3 games they've been the top 2 scorers for Community. That's a really good thing to see, that really anybody can knock it down. And then looking at ball handlers, that was the thing early on in the season. We were wondering, does Community have another ball handler they can go to besides Braylon? Nico's starting to become one. I think he's done a great job handling the ball. He's been dishing it out, one of the leading assisters, stealers, and points per game. So he's doing a great job. And then also looking at Connor Smith, he's been getting 15 minutes a game, and he's been handling the ball a lot. So I think there's a lot of positives. There's also some negatives to take from tonight, and they're definitely going to be using that for Friday. And the winner of this upcoming matchup that we will be broadcasting, Rock Island versus West. I got a lot of stuff on that. Excited for this one.
All right, let's break down the final score tonight. Braylon Roman led the Ironmen with 15, 10 for Nico Newsom, 11 for Jaheim Weber, 8 points for Noah Cleveland, a lot of balance after that, 3 for Dexter Niekamp, 2 for Kobe Walker, 2 for Connor Smith, and 2 for Mac Brennan. For Manuka, 10 points for Micah Hamilton, 5 for Wes Owens, 5 for Zane Cave, 7 for Jaden Bowe, 3 points for Jordan Freeman, and 2 points for DJ Hamilton. Ironman led 12-7 after 1, 24-9 at half, 37-19 after 3. 53-32 the final score. Well, we will return for game number 2. Give us about 15 minutes and we will be back to cover the Rocks of Rock Island and the Wildcats of Normal West. Once again, the final score in game number 1. Normal Community on to the regional final. They beat Manuka 53-32. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Welcome back to the Upbeat, where each group... Crud. Mr. Bovenkirk, cut that out. Welcome back to the Upbeat, where each week a group of InkSpot reporters takes a break from breaking news to share what's been making them smile this week. I'm Abigail Zemer, and joining me this week are Braden Blackwell, Anijah Russell, and Lucas Strangwitz, as we try to put some happiness into the headlines. Braden, why don't you start us off? What's making you happy this week?
Oh, it's been an interesting week. I started off my week by attempting to build a bookshelf, and it went really well for like a day, right up until like I built it, and then I looked at it. I'm like, that's not going to hold anything. But it was fun, the process of like trying to build it, being with some friends, losing $130 in the process. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, so is this for like a school project, or are we talking like just bored on the weekend?
It was a gift, actually. Well, it was supposed to be a gift. So I made it, and then I thought that would be the worst gift I've ever given, so I bought a necklace instead.
Yeah, perfect. Was this like a Valentine's Day gift?
It was a Valentine's Day gift.
Cool. So you scrapped the whole idea?
I will revisit it someday when I'm up to date on my carpenter knowledge.
Gotcha.
How'd you lose the $130?
Do you know how expensive lumber prices are?
I do not.
They're expensive. You go to Menards, you think you're going to drop $45. You get there, they ring you up. And then you're like, shoot, all right, it's done for. But the process was fun. It was a good time. I had fun with my friend building it. So that was probably the highlight of my week.
Yeah. So do you think that you're going to be able to like re-scavenge that, or is it kind of a lost cause at this point?
I mean, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's done. Over to you, Anijah.
My week has honestly been a bit boring, but I would say the highlight of my week would probably be reading this new book called Fighting Jupiter. It's based off of tragedy and young love. I really love how the characters in there are very diverse, and that they showcase also not only the love part and the romantic part of life, but they also showcase tragedy and real life solutions. And so it has brought me back to my love for reading that I had when I was younger, which has made me like very excited.
Sounds like a perfect Valentine's week book.
Aww.
Is that what you did on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, to be honest, that's basically all I did was read.
That's awesome.
That's cool. So when you read, are you like into it? Because I've always wanted to be a reader, but it never happens. I think it's my attention span, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say that once I read a couple pages of like when I start a book and then I really get into it and it like attracts my attention, I am pretty stuck on it and would want to read it like all the time. So yeah, I think it also depends on what setting you're in as well, for like how you focus on like the book and stuff.
Yeah, maybe you just haven't like found the right tragic romance
Maybe.
book to like really encapsulate you into reading.
You know, maybe I just don't try hard enough, you know, honestly. I could try that book. Which book's next? Do you have a lineup?
No, not really. Not really. I don't really have a lineup. I would say that maybe the next book I would read is probably a book that I've read already, which is called Everything, Everything from Nicole Yoon, which is one of my favorite authors.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good for you. I can't tell you the last time I read a book cover to cover, so it's
Yeah.
definitely good for you.
So, Abigail, what's been making you happy this week?
So this week was a pretty special week for me. Wednesday was my birthday and Valentine's Day. So that was fun. I was pretty low-key on that day. You know, I had my grandparents over this weekend just to hang out and catch up. I hadn't seen them in a few months, actually. So that was fun. I had track practice, so pretty chill day, but it's always nice just to have it on Valentine's Day. It kind of makes it more interesting, you know, and I can see my friends and kind of enjoy everybody in my life. So it was a good day.
It's actually crazy because today is actually my birthday.
Luke, is this actually?
It is.
No
It
way.
is.
You're 18?
I'm 18 today.
Crazy.
Crazy.
So what are you doing to celebrate?
I'm going to the West game tonight,
Okay.
so hopefully boys basketball team can get a win there.
Yeah.
And then after, I'm probably just hanging out with friends. I don't
Yeah.
even know what I'm doing, to be honest.
It's like a gift from the whole school.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No, you can like
Boys team's got to win it for me.
you can like buy a lottery ticket now. Go,
I
like,
can.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on a school podcast, but I actually did my first like parlay on the sports gambling app today. this
Did you
morning.
really?
Like, as soon as I woke up. Yep.
No way.
Yep.
You're gonna get us in trouble. We're gonna,
Hopefully not. Got $5 on the Genesis Open for golf. So big money.
Yeah, when I told some girls on my track team that I'm 18 now, their first reaction was, "Did you get a tattoo? Like, are you gonna get a tattoo?" And I was like, "I have no idea. You know, I guess I'm an adult now. I could move out if I wanted or something like that." But I never even thought about your little sports gambling
Yeah,
as a new
yeah.
opportunity.
it's always funny when you turn 18 because they're like, yeah, you could do all of these
Mhm.
things. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
those are possibilities. None of it's gonna happen.
I have a question. When you like turn 18, do you feel like a sense of like new power, or like do you just like feel different anyway?
Lucas?
Not really, I don't say, because I mean, at the end of the day, you're still living with your parents. So like maybe like when you leave for college, you'd feel that, but definitely not now, for sure. Still feel under the control of my parents.
Yeah.
Because you have $5 right now on the line
Yeah, to win
because of-
$35.
to win $35.
I checked earlier, and 2 of the things I needed to happen already happened. So and I need one more thing to happen. So
Because I'm praying for you.
thank you.
The entire NCHS student body is behind you, hoping you win that $35.
I need the money. I need the money. And after I lost $50 on the Super Bowl, so definitely need the money.
$50?
Yeah, I bet with my friend that the 49ers would win.
But you weren't even 18 at the time.
Well, that was just like cash. Like that's just between friends.
Still illegal, I think.
Yeah, I still don't know if I should be
Okay,
saying
we
this
should.
on
Yeah.
this.
I think we're gonna need
We're
to
gonna
cut
lose
this
a lot
out.
of
I need to
content.
cut this out, but hopefully not.
So do you think you'll get gift money to kind of help you rejuvenate that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my grandparents sent me some money that I opened up this morning, so
That's
I don't know.
good.
Hopefully, I don't gamble that away, but I'll probably just buy some new shoes or something.
Yeah. Have you opened up your gifts yet, or what's like the best gift that you're hoping for?
Well, actually, like 2 weeks ago, before my grandparents left for Florida, they got me a MacBook. So,
Oh.
and they said it technically wasn't a birthday present; it was just for college. So I don't know, but that's definitely the best present I got.
If that's not, what is your birthday present
don't-
then? If
I
that's
don't
not
know.
even your birthday gift.
I don't know. I don't think they got me anything else, but it's definitely way better than the school laptops for sure.
So, Anijah, you said your birthday was in December, right?
Yeah.
How close to Christmas?
My birthday is December 7th, and my mom told me that I actually was supposed to be born on Christmas, but I actually came early, so
How do you feel about that?
yeah. I mean, I don't feel as salty about it because I don't celebrate Christmas, so it's really just like a regular day. But I feel like when I was younger, when I did celebrate it, I would have like wanted to be born on such a special holiday. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Braden, when's your birthday?
October 16th. So I
Okay.
turned 18 early this year.
Yeah, that's a nice time of year. Do you usually have good weather and do stuff on it?
It's always a mixed bag. It's either like really nice weather or like way too cold.
Yeah.
That's how it is every year, but it's fun. You know, it's near Halloween. If you want a birthday near a holiday, I feel like you want it to be Halloween.
Mhm. I agree. But I'm a little biased maybe. So,
Why?
can't really say I agree cuz my birthday is on a holiday. So,
On Valentine's Day?
yeah.
Oh, that's such a power move in any
I
relationship
know.
you're
I
ever
know.
in.
I know. Opinions on Valentine's Day cuz I feel like when I was younger, a lot of people I get mixed emotions when I tell people, mixed reactions. Cuz some people think it's really sweet and others are like, "Oof. What a day." You know what I mean? I feel like especially when we were younger, it was very much a day of pressure and people would get upset, either really happy or really sad on Valentine's Day. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of learned to embrace it.
I always like Valentine's Day because I feel like it's more than just like the classic like relationships, or like I get my sister a card every year, like my mom and my sister, I get them stuff. It's more about like showing the love all around than like
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
When I think
I
of
really do.
Valentine's Day, I just think of the elementary school parties that we used to have.
Oh, bring 'em back.
yeah,
Those
my
were so much
sisters.
fun.
you got like
So
a
much
half
fun.
day.
Yeah, everyone,
Yeah.
everyone got like the whole class Valentine's. You get so much candy.
I know,
The
you thought that
best.
one person was cute, so you like wrote a heart on their one,
Yeah.
but only theirs. But
Yeah.
you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, my sisters that are in elementary, they were like making, like those cards and like signing your name on like candies and stuff. And I was like, "Move, let me do it," because it was so exciting back then to be able to do stuff like that and have those little parties. So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely Valentine's Day is definitely a nice holiday, to be honest.
Do kids still make those boxes? Because I remember I saw on TikTok or something someone complaining that kids never make those boxes anymore. But when I was younger, I remember
Yeah.
decorating them and doing all the fun
Yeah.
stuff. And it was like a competition sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
I was at Grove earlier this week, and I walked by a classroom that was making their boxes, so they definitely
Good.
still do that.
I mean, we got St. Patrick's Day. You guys ever make the ones where you have to trap the leprechauns?
Oh, yeah.
I've
Yep.
never heard of those.
Funny
You've never-
story. I remember we did something in elementary school when we would all go to recess and we would come back and the leprechaun would have disturbed our desks. But I remember when I was younger, I had to come inside to use the bathroom. And I walked into my teacher moving around all the desks. And so it kind of spoiled the surprise for me. But when I came back in, everyone was shocked and everyone was talking about the leprechaun. So I went along with it, But ever since then, whenever I think of St. Patrick's Day, I have that little memory kind of in the back of my head. But I still like to think that it's fun as an elementary schooler to celebrate it.
See, Abby, I had the same thing happen to me in second grade, but the teacher had to pull me aside afterwards and be like, "You can't tell the other kids.
Oh,
You can't ruin it for them."
man.
I really hope we're not like ruining leprechauns for anybody listening out there. They're like, wait, they're
Yeah.
not real? They didn't really destroy our classroom?
Well, that's not necessarily true that they're not real. They just didn't come to your elementary school.
I know.
You
Maybe
know
they
what I
only
mean?
came to some elementary
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah. Who knows? So, glad that we'll have St. Patrick's Day to look forward to. Anything else anybody wants to talk about the highlights of their week?
Nope.
No,
Perfect.
I don't think I have anything.
We'd love to hear what's making you happy this week. Let us know on social media at nchsinkspot.com. For Braden Blackwell, Anijah Russell, Lucas Drangwitz, and myself, I'm saying thanks for tuning in this week. Welcome back to The Upbeat, where each group... Crud. Mr. Bovenkirk, cut that out. Welcome back to The Upbeat, where each week a group of InkSpot reporters takes a break from breaking news to share what's been making them smile this week. I'm Abigail Zemer, and joining me this week are Braden Blackwell, Anijah Russell, and Lucas Drangwitz, as we try to put some happiness into the headlines. Braden, why don't you start us off? What's making you happy this week?
Oh, it's been an interesting week. I started off my week by attempting to build a bookshelf, and it went really well for like a day, right up until like I built it, and then I looked at it. I'm like, that's not gonna hold anything. But it was fun, the process of like trying to build it, being with some friends, losing $130 in the process. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, so is this for like a school project, or are we talking like just bored on the weekend?
It was a gift, actually. Well, it was supposed to be a gift. So I made it, and then I thought that would be the worst gift I've ever given, so I bought a necklace instead.
Yeah, perfect. Was this like a Valentine's Day
It
gift?
was a
or?
Valentine's Day
Okay,
gift.
Cool. So you scrapped the whole idea?
I will revisit it someday when I'm up to date on my carpenter knowledge.
Gotcha.
How'd you lose the $130?
Do you know how expensive lumber prices are?
I
No.
do not.
They're expensive. You go to Menards, you think you're going to drop $45. You get there, they ring you up, and then you're like, shoot, all right, it's done for. But the process was fun. It was a good time. I had fun with my friend building it. So that was probably the highlight of my week.
Yeah. So do you think that you're going to be able to like re-scavenge that, or is it kind of a lost cause at this point?
I mean, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's done. Over to you, Anijah.
My week.
Welcome back to Normal Community High School. Whether you're tuning in from the west side of town or you're joining us from the Quad Cities, we'd like to welcome you here to Normal Community High School tonight. It's the Normal West Wildcats and the Rocks of Rock Island. It's regional semifinal night here at Normal Community. The Ironmen are already in the final. They knocked off Manuka 53-32. And don't forget, Normal Community fans, you can watch the Normal Community girls, the Lady Ironmen, playing for a sectional championship. That game at Normal West. Tomorrow night, they take on the Redbirds of Alton. Alton ranked number 2 in the state, Class 4A in girls basketball. Normal Community at number 6 as the Lady Iron trying to stamp their ticket to the Super Sectional, one game away from the state tournament. Joel Swanson, Zach Knox-Doyle, Ben Kerber here from Normal Community High School. Also got to mention Mr. Brad Bovenkirk is running everything for us here, making it happen here on the Ink Spot tonight. But thanks for joining us here as the winner of this game takes on Normal Community. Well, first of all, let's start with the folks coming from the Quad Cities, the Rocks of Rock Island. And Zach, why don't you give us a breakdown of how the Rocks have looked so far this year?
They have looked great, especially as of late. So Rock Island through 31 games. They were 23-8 overall, 11-3 in conference, which is good for second in the Western Big Six, and that is a really talented conference. They're actually 13-1 at home, 7-4 away, and 3-3 on neutral games. Their average game score is astonishing. It's 62-43. This is a team that's number 12 in 4A, and a team that did have a 10-game winning streak before back-to-back losses to Quincy. Quincy's a really tough team. One of them was a single-digit loss. Quincy's number 5 in 4A, so this is a really talented program. Their head coach, Mark Polite, actually used to play for Eastern Illinois. It's a little fun fact. He averaged 12 points a game, shot 40% from 3, so he's a sharp shooter, and so is this team. They have one player in particular that you should really keep your eye out for is KJ Lamont. He averages nearly 19 points a game, leading the Western Big Six. And looking at conference games, they also have senior forward Desmond Jackson. He averages 11 points a game, which is good for 9th in the conference, and 5 rebounds a game, also good for 9th in the conference. This team has a lot of talent. You also got to keep your eye on Larry Olivier, who also averages 11 points per game, good for 10th in conference. This is a high-scoring team and a really talented program. They won regionals, which is like making it to like the Sweet 16, as I talked about earlier, 28 of the last 40 years. This is a really respected program.
Yeah, it certainly is. Rock Island has one of the best traditions in the state of Illinois. Quincy, Rock Island, Great Western Big Six basketball again this year. Ben Kerber, hey, give us a rundown of our rivals from across town, the Normal West Wildcats.
Oh, man. These are the rivals. I guess I can try to compliment them a little bit if I can. But so on the season, they're 11-19. They're 4-6 in the conference. And, that record is not great for a West team. But if you look at their schedule, they've actually played some pretty good games, and they've held in it for a long time. I know the community, we're pretty good. And they only lost us by 3. That was a very close game. They just wouldn't go away. They played Richwoods, where they only lost by 11. They played teams like Mount Zion, very good, Muhammad Seymour. They played Mount Carmel. They only lost to Moline by 5. So they played a lot of really tough competition, and they don't have a great record, but they played a lot of tough competition. So they're definitely battle tested for this game. And you got to think, they got 7 seniors on their team. That's a lot. They probably don't want to go home tonight. So go for them to really fight this game and stay in it for as long as they can, and maybe even get a win.
Well, the winner of this contest gets a date with Normal Community in the regional championship game, 7 o'clock Friday night. You can catch that game right here on the Ink Spot. The losers' season ends here this evening. It will be Rock Island and Normal West. So let's turn things over now to the PA announcer here at Normal Community High School, Mr. Jason Drengwitz.
Starters, tonight's semifinal game. First for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Normal West Wildcats. Starting at a guard, a 6'1" senior, number 3, Isaiah Robinson. Starting at another guard, a 6' senior, number 4, Nathaniel Moore. Starting at another guard, a 5'9" junior, number 15, Michael Zaleski. Starting at another forward, a 6'4" senior, number 23, CJ Wilson. And at forward, a 6'6" senior, number 22, Taylor Hopperman. And now the starters for the Rock Island Rocks. At a guard, a 6'1" senior, Larry Olivier Jr. Starting at another guard, a 6' sophomore, number 3, Lawson Zulu. Starting at another guard, a 6'3" senior, number 5, Desmond Jackson. Starting at a forward, a 6'3" senior, number 11, Devontae Cartwright. And at a guard, a 6'3" senior, number 13, KJ Lamont. Tonight's officials for the contest are Darren Comet, Robert McGinnis, and Tim Brock.
Well, here we go. It's regional semifinals here at Normal Community High School. It's our second semifinal game. The Rocks of Rock Island and the Wildcats of Normal West. The Rocks come in 23-8, 11-3 in the Western Big Six this season, taking on the Wildcats from the Big 12, 11-19, 4-6 in the Big 12 this year for the Wildcats. The winner gets Normal Community 7 o'clock Friday nights, and the loser's season will be done here for 23-24. And Zach and Ben, just give me a quick rundown. What are you looking for here to start the contest?
I think West is looking for a hot start. They need to start out strong and really show Rock Island that they're here to play. And I think Rock Island, there's a good chance that they're underestimating them just looking at the record of West, but they can really hang with some opponents, as Ben said earlier.
Yeah, zone here by Normal Community West to start off the game. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, that's a good three by Rock Island. But yeah, but I was going to say the same thing. I think West needs to start going really on attack mode just to start the game, because your season's on the line. You're kind of going into this game not expected to win, but they definitely can. They've hung in some games, and I would really look for them to just move through Nate Moore, because he averages 15 points on the season. He's really a pretty elite scorer that if you get open, he's gonna make a move. He's pretty shifty, and he's gonna get open like he shoots right here.
And Moore's three around and out and back home.
He was listening to you.
Yeah, jeez, what was I doing? I don't even know. But watching Community's games, and just I'm friends with him too. I've seen him play. You can't give him an inch of space or he'll make you pay, and he's pretty shifty guard overall. And that's something that if they get going, it'll be really hard to stop. And if you get West as a team going as a whole, they'll be really hard to stop, because we saw that in the community game as Nate Moore shoots another here.
Yeah, Moore missed that three. 3-3 our score as Larry Olivier Jr. has a three for Rock Island. Here's another one. That's off rebound. Nice box out that time by Michael Zaleski, and we're seeing a much faster pace in the game, the pace that we saw in game number one.
Yeah, Zaleski went from JV last year, working his way up. He was off the bench at the start of the year, and now he's starting, and he is a bucket, and he can really shoot it from downtown. He's actually their best three-point shooter. He shoots at about a 40% clip from three.
We're going to see a lot of pressure. Rock Island's got a lot of good athletes out there. They'll put a lot of pressure on the ball. Down the lane inside with the right hand and following up his own miss right there and putting on that one back home as Taylor Hofferman gets the bucket there.
It looks like Rock Island might have underestimated West a little bit. They've had some open opportunities to start this game, and they seem like they're ready to go. They do not want to go home.
Yeah, certainly a high-energy team. And like I said before, 7 seniors, Taylor Hofferman's one of them, Nate Moore's one of them, Isaiah Robinson's one of them, CJ Wilson's one of them. They're all on the floor right now. They certainly do not want to go home in the regionals here, and they don't want to go home on the Castle or Community's home court, so that would certainly be a shame. So I look to that for them to be very aggressive here.
Yeah, they've gone to a man-to-man defense, it looks like, here against Rock Island. Started off in that 2-1-2 zone. Now on the lane come the Rocks, and heading to the line here will be will be, Lawson Zulu, who got all the way in there. I do believe they're going to call a shooting foul. Nope, it's going to be out of bounds. So on the floor that time. 5-3, the Wildcats of Normal West have the lead. 5:38 to go here. First quarter. Thanks for joining us on the Ink Spot. You can find the championship game of the regional here Friday night. Ben and Zach will have that one for you Friday evening. Here's a three from the corner on the way. That one doesn't go down right there for Olivier Jr. And here comes Normal West back the other way. They lead 5-3. A turnover now by the Wildcats. Nobody can pick it out of the air, and it'll belong to Rock Island.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Zulu. I know you talked about him a little bit ago. He's third in the Western Big Six in assists per game. Gets about 3 assists per game, and he, just seeing this little bit from him, he is quick and flashy. He's got a really fast first step.
Yeah, we see that 2-1-2 zone. Normal West extending it way out front here against Rock Island. Trying to take away those guards on the outside. An interesting look as they extend that defense way out in the perimeter.
And looking at these teams, that's a three right there. That's off.
Yeah, no good that time by Desmond Jackson, who missed the three.
Yeah, but looking at both these teams, it's kind of weird because usually watching community teams, it seems like we have so many tall players in here. It doesn't seem like either team has a true big, because I know the tallest players on West are about 6'5", 6'4", CJ and Taylor. And it doesn't seem like Rock Island has such a very tall player either. That's probably about the same height, 6'5", 6'4".
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see the pace of this game and how fast it can get going.
Devontae Cartwright right there lays one in for Rock Island to tie it at 5.
Tallest player for Rock Island is actually Desmond Jackson. He's actually just classified as a small forward, but he's 6'4" with big block there. I think that was from Desmond Jackson.
Yeah, Desmond Jackson, the 6'3" senior, got a hand on that one out of bounds. So the score tied at 5, 4:25 to go here first quarter, and a pace that has gotten up and down here so far between the Wildcats and the Rocks.
It's been a great start to this game. I'm really expecting a really hard-fought game as a three is shot up there from Hafferman.
Yes, tallest guy on their team shot that with no hesitation from the top there.
Looked nice, actually. Just didn't fall through, but good form. We haven't seen a lot from KJ Lamont. Actually, we haven't seen a shot attempt from the leading scorer, who averages about 18 points a game.
And you can see that Rock Island getting some decent looks from that three-point line, but Normal West did a nice job cutting off the dribble penetration for Rock Island here so far. We go into 4 minutes in the first quarter. 5-5 our score between the Wildcats and the Rocks, trying to break down this defense here. Are the Rock Island Rocks from the Quad Cities, Western Big Six. Runners-up in the conference this year. Here's a little 15-footer on the way that goes down right there, and that was Lawson Zulu who knocked it home.
And that was just a straight shot into the basket, almost like a dart. Kind of reminded me of Kawhi Leonard's shot. Not a lot of arc on that. That just right in.
Yeah, down it went that time, and a 2-point lead now for Rock Island. And the Wildcats now trying to take the lead with a three, tie the game with a 2 here now with 3:18 to go in the first. Here's the three, Zaleski right side, and he got it down. Michael Zaleski, the 5'9" junior. Second three of the game for Normal West. All the way back in now with the right hand. Doesn't go that time for KJ Lamont. And here comes Normal West back the other way. They'll push the basketball.
Yeah, I've actually played against Zaleski at 4 seasons, and he is a sharp shooter. Nate Moore looked
Moore
like an and one there.
Oh, contact there.
Yeah,
no
Moore's
whistle. That's been consistent all night.
Moore's got 5 now in the contest. 10-7 our score now. Well, Normal West has a 3-point lead here at the 2:45 mark of the first.
Yeah, Moore's the leading scorer for them, averaging about 15 a game. Also leading on the defensive side with steals, 2 steals a game. Really talented player.
Hafferman's got the rebound now for Normal West, and they have a 3-point lead here with the basketball. 2.5 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen more three-point attempts thus far in this game than I saw maybe in the whole last game from Normal Community Manuka. This team, like we said, they're smaller, and they're certainly letting it fly here in this first quarter.
Yeah, and a little faster basketball, too. They are being a little more patient, I think, because it's regionals. There's Hafferman going up strong. Nice finish from Hafferman.
Yeah, Hafferman's got 4 now in the contest. Moore's got 5. Zaleski's got that 1-3. Hafferman's got 4, and then look up there, it's 12-7 now, the underdog. Wildcats have the lead here, under 2 minutes to go first quarter.
And the Cats are going right at the Rocks to start this game. It looked like he stepped out of bounds there, and he did. KJ Lamont stepped out of bounds. Has he scored yet?
Yeah, KJ Lamont is not on the board yet. They got 3 from Olivier Jr., 2 from Zulu, 2 from Cartwright. That's been it for Rock Island here. Only 7 points on the board for the Rocks now with 1:50 to go in the first quarter.
And he's checking out right now, the leading scorer for the Rocks. A guy that everybody's had their eyes on is out of the game at the moment. West trying to Oh, wow, Rock Island stole that one away.
And they turn it over as Olivier Jr. able to pick that one up.
They had a 4-on-3. Didn't take advantage of it here.
Now Rock Island will try to break down the zone. They get it into Zulu on the baseline. Zulu finding the cutter, and a nice cut that time off the glass. No good there for Ben Go, and out of bounds to Normal West.
Bounced around there for a second. I wasn't sure if that was West ball or the Rocks ball.
Seems like thus far Rock Island's doing a good job of just everyone on their team moving. I don't know if this is a good comparison, but it kind of reminds me of the Warriors a little bit, how everyone off the ball is just moving at all times, and that really is going to allow for more people to get open, especially as the game goes on. You can kind of wear your defenders down, so hopefully West can be wary of that.
And I think they have so many threats. Like, you have Desmond Jackson, who averages 11 points per game. Larry Olivier, the average is 11 points per game. And KJ Lamont, the average is 19. So you got a lot of scores, and it's not just one guy that you're looking for. And that's why they can still be in this game with KJ scoreless. But also on the flip side, West is off to a great start, and I don't think a lot of people, especially from community, expected West to be off to this great start. Just strictly looking at records, you got a team that's 23-8 versus a team that in West that is about 8 games under 500.
Yeah, for Rock Island, they lost their last 2 games of the regular season to Quincy by 12-9 in those contests. Before that, they beat East Peoria, Rock Island Alleman, East Moline, and Taylor Ridge, Rock Ridge in the 4 games before the 2-game losing streak, and dropping both those games against the Blue Devils. Last time out for Normal West, they lost to Sacred Heart Griffin by 7. We talked about the loss to the Ironmen by 18 last Friday. And they had knocked off Bloomington by 6, beaten East Peoria, beaten Washington and Peoria Notre Dame. So they had a 4-game winning streak before dropping their last 2. And Nate Moore traveled right there. It looks like Moore comes up a little bit gimpy right there. Hopefully he's okay. He is absolutely a player the Wildcats have to have on the floor.
Yeah, that is not great news for the Wildcats. He's still
looks like he rolled his ankle. Yeah, it looks like he rolled his ankle a little bit on that.
Surprised they haven't taken him out.
Yeah. It definitely seems like he's in pain.
Yeah, he certainly is a little bit ginger right now on that ankle. Let's see if now Rock Island can do a better job of breaking down this zone. It's been a 2-1-2 zone that's really given fits, and they kind of morph it into a 3-2 out front. Inside the ball goes now. We're going to get a traveling violation. Good call that time as Ben Go took an extra shuffle step inside. And boy, when things don't go well early on, it can really snowball for a higher seed sometimes. They start to feel pressure. They start to press a little bit, and it can be difficult. And sometimes these games, the first game of the tournament, just try to make it through.
What a dime.
And Hefferman able to scoop that one up with the right hand, and he put it home.
That was a tough little lay, honestly.
Call SportsCenter on that one. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, Hefferman's got 6 now, and it's 14-7. Very much a football-like score up there on the board here. Under a minute we go now in the first quarter, and here's almost a steal right there. Malik Givens that time, the 5'10 sophomore, got a hand on it.
That's a great defensive effort from Malik there, and I think that's something that we should watch the whole game is West defense, because they average giving up 53 points a game. So that's obviously a high total. Rock Island's a pretty good team. They average a lot of points a game as well. So they're putting in great effort right now. Like you said, Rock Island could be kind of sheepish, and if they get off to a slow start, it could kind of not go well, especially as the higher seed. But I think that's definitely something to watch, see if West defense can hold up and if they can really take advantage of this good start.
Lamont got trapped now at the center court line. He traveled. He dragged that pivot foot right there in a turnover against Rock Island. So right now, 14-7, Normal West has the lead. 43.4 seconds to go first quarter. You have to wonder if it's going to be a one shot here for the Wildcats and try to take a pretty substantial lead into the second quarter.
It's been a pretty fast-paced first quarter, but I would not be surprised if they try to hold this and maybe even get a double-digit lead, but it looks like they went out of bounds, and it will be Rock Island ball. They'll have the opportunity kind of make a little statement on this quarter.
Easier said than done right there, trying to hold the ball. As C.J. Wilson now back in the lineup along with Nate Moore. Moore's got 5. Hufferman's got 6, and Zaleski's got 3. That's the 14 for the Wildcats on the board. Rock Island not a whole lot in scoring across the board. 25 seconds here for the first now as Lamont going to pull up. Will dish that basketball off. Now to go, and back out front we go to Lamont. Lamont now with 15 on the clock, facing that 2-1-2 zone. Lamont now with 10 on the clock. penetrates. Lamont gets inside, dumps it off for Go. Inside, shot up, no good. Rebound, Go. Had
That's
it
good
blocked
paint
that
defense.
time. 3 seconds on the clock. Let's see if they're going to be able to get it out of there. And they won't. They'll turn it over, but Duarte can't get the basketball up. And that is the end of the first quarter. I don't know if you could have scripted any better for the Normal West Wildcats in the first quarter. They lead after one, 14-7 over Rock Island. Thanks for joining us here on the Ink Spot tonight. Remember, you can catch the regional championship game here at Normal Community High School. It's a 7 o'clock tip Friday night. The winner of this game will take on the Ironmen of Normal Community for the regional title. Zach, let's start with you. Why don't you break down Rock Island? What did they look like in that first quarter?
Well, they're actually looking kind of sluggish, and even seeing them on the bench, they don't really look scared. I saw some guys get off the bench, clapping, listening to this music, and they're down 7, and they don't really seem to be desperate, and I think this is the moment that the Rocks need to be desperate. This is loser goes home, so they need to give it their all, and I think we're going to see a very different quarter from them. Hopefully, KJ Lamont will start getting going. I know I've talked about him a lot because, I mean, he is their top scorer. 19 points per game is a lot for high school, and we haven't seen anything from him. So I think they're just going to really look to get that offense going. Their defense has been all right, but it's been a lot of open shots for West, and they're going to need to correct really quite a lot.
And they've really kind of struggled with this 2-1-2 zone. That has
They
really
have.
bothered them so far here in this first quarter. They really had a hard time breaking that zone down. Ben, real quickly, how about Normal West? What did it look like for the Wildcats?
Yeah, I think West, going into this game, I knew they could be a threat, definitely, because they play with a lot of energy. You know, they're kind of just annoying, honestly, West. They just don't go away. There's a 3 from Andrell right there. You love to see it. That's another senior in the game. And like I keep saying, they got seniors. They don't want to lose. They just don't go away. And that's what we kind of saw when they played community. And they've had a lot of effort on defense. That 2-1-2, I think they're running that versus community, so it seems like they're pretty good in it so far. And like the good paint defense right there, you love to see that. The one question is, how long can they hold up this defense this great defense that they've been playing? Because they put up shots. Oh, that would have been tough. They put up shots, so they'll get their points, but how long can they hold up this defense, especially with all the off-ball movement from Rock Island?
And the lead has now grown to 10 here for Normal West. Here's a 3 from the corner on the way. That's off the back iron right there by Austin, but Normal West has the rebound, and now the Wildcats will back it back out. 7 minutes to go before halftime. 17-7 our score. Normal West has the lead here. It's game 2 of the Normal Community Regional. The Ironmen of Normal Community knocked off Manuka 53-32 in game number 1. Driving down inside all the way in, and we're going to get an offensive foul against C.J. Wilson.
That was a sequence there. I think Rock Island's really stepping up their defense now. They really made West take their time, didn't give them a shot opportunity, and took that charge. That's big. It's a double-digit lead for the Wildcats. I did not expect that coming into this game, and many people didn't. Also holding Rock Island to 7. Rock Island scores a lot. They average 62 points a game. They're an offense-heavy team, and they are in single digits, and we're already in the second quarter.
And I can see Rock Island trying to attack that short corner here. They're swinging around. Here's Lamont's 3. That's way short right there. Rebound picked out by the Rocks. We'll kick it out, back out to KJ Lamont down the lane. Lamont all the way inside. He shows what he can do, and it rolls around and out.
That's just
Rebound
unfortunate.
Underneath, and it'll be an and 1 attempt right there for Desmond Jackson, who put it home.
Jackson is doing a lot for Rock Island. We've already seen a lot of hustle on both ends of the court. That offensive board and the putback there with the and 1. Nice move.
I got to think we're going to see some full court pressure here now the rest of the way from Rock Island. They're going to have to figure out a way to not have to go against this 2-1-2 zone, because it has been a struggle for them so far here in the first half. Free throw up and good by Desmond Jackson, and there is the pressure from the Rocks here. And they really want to speed up this tempo.
Yeah, I think Normal West can handle this tempo, though, because, maybe not. But
they got it back.
That's a forward, Taylor Hoffman, dribbling the ball up the floor with ease there. So it seems like they really – did you call that travel?
No, I think he called a foul on the floor right there.
Anyway.
C.J. Wilson took the contact right there. I actually thought it was a shooting foul there, but they're actually going to say it's going to be based on out of bounds now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, but like I was saying, they have had basically 3 guards in the whole game, and these forwards are dribbling with ease. As Andrell hits another 3, that you love to see that there. The players getting hyped. So it seems like that Northwest can handle everything Rock Island's been throwing at them so far, and Rock Island can't handle much. So
20-10 now our score. They've doubled up Rock Island. Here is a turnover by the Rocks as That was Braden Marshall that time down on the baseline who turned the basketball over there for Rock Island. So now basketball belongs here to Normal West. I actually think that was KJ Lamont that had the turnover a moment ago for Rock Island, all the way down and laying it up and no good right there. CJ Wilson couldn't finish for the Wildcats.
I think another thing that fuels the Cats is if they win this game, they play community. Oh, a three there from Larry Olivier. That's the second three we've seen from him tonight. But if West wins, they get to play community for the third time this season. First time lost by 3, and last time was Saturday, lost by about 20. Nate Moore on a wide open court. Nice lay. No and one is called.
That's a lot of contact
Sure
there.
did look like a lot of contact, and Nate Moore's been dealing with that all night. He's already up to 7 points.
Yeah, we saw him hobbling earlier in this game. He comes back in and he just gets a bucket like that, like it didn't even phase him.
He still seems to be favoring that left ankle a little bit. Another three from Rock Island. That one is good. That was
Devontae Cartwright knocked in that one. And 3 3-pointers now for the Rocks. 22-16 our score. And the pressure really starting to mount as Rock Island getting after Normal West. 6-point lead for the Wildcats.
Violation.
And there it is, the 10-second violation. The ball goes over to Rock Island. So certainly the tempo totally different than what we saw in game number 1. Rock Island really starting to try to speed up Normal West here as the half goes along. And I really think Rock Island's going to try to take advantage of their depth as well. They've got a pretty deep team, can bring a lot of guys in. And we'll see if they really try to quicken this pace here as the game goes along.
Yeah, they can get to a one-possession game just like that. It was just a double-digit lead, but if they knock down a 3, which they seem to be very talented at, it could already be a one-possession game.
Maybe
Looks like
starting to handle this zone a little bit now.
Yeah.
And here's a foul. And let's see if head of the line for Rock Island, and they will. Desmond Jackson will head to the line. So Normal West has really been able to hold Rock Island offensively pretty well in check here in the first half by using that zone. But the Rocks are starting to adjust a little bit and break that West zone down with more regularity.
Yeah, they're certainly making a lot more passes, you know, trying to find the open guy. And there's been a lot of open looks these last few possessions. So, like I said, we'll see how long this Normal West defense can hold out for.
Because I think once you start making threes, with the Rocks started to do, Desmond Jackson missing that free throw there. Once you start making threes, then everything opens up, and Desmond Jackson's able to get some fouls, some easy layups. West is moving it quickly here. Nate Moore driving in. Nice dish, but it's not caught there by C.J. Wilson. Looks like he overthrew it a little bit, or C.J. Wilson kind of stopped in the middle of his cut.
Yeah,
Rock Island's down by 5. They got the ball back.
And I think even more importantly for Rock Island, they've been able to push the pace here a little bit. They've been able to increase the tempo of the contest, and that's been a real key here for the Rocks to try to get themselves back in the game. This is where they've had a hard time. You can kind of see the West zone 2-1-2, but it kind of morphs into a 3-2 when they bring Hofferman back out. Nice pass inside. Shot up no good. I think Zaleski got a piece of that at 5'9". We're going to give him the block. Mark that down. That might be his first couple of the year right there, but Zaleski gets that block down to the baseline.
He's a really scrappy player. And speaking of scrappy, there's a foul there. Nate Moore is just getting, he's getting fouled a lot tonight.
I think that was Isaiah Robinson.
That was Isaiah Robinson right there. Yeah, they look very similar out on the floor, number 3 and number 4 for Normal West. But and the officiating, how close they're going to call this here the rest of the way is going to be important. There's a pretty tight whistle. That's going to be helpful for Normal West. Hofferman on the other end. Boy, he's having a really nice first half. He's got 8, and they've been able to get him the ball he could attack on the offensive end against this pretty heavy pressure from Rock Island.
Yeah, Hofferman leads the team in rebounds, and he's actually just 3rd in points, basically tied for 2nd with 8 points a game. A 3 there.
Yeah, Lamont.
Like he might have got fouled on the three-point shot there.
Yeah, looked like Hofferman fouled him there, but no call.
Yeah, and Hofferman, you know, for probably their tallest player, probably tied with C.J. Wilson. He moves pretty fast out there. So if that's something, that's with this press, you know, if that's someone that they can get going in transition as he brings the ball up here, that could really be beneficial to him in the rim.
Yeah, he's a stretch forward. That's a really big thing in basketball now, having forwards that can shoot, that can move the ball. Speaking of shooting, Nate Moore pulls up from 3, no good. Hofferman seemed to get that offensive board, but I think they called a foul on him. It's moving back to Rock Island here. I think he might have pushed off a little over the back.
Try to get you some scores here as the evening goes along, but Curie knocked off Chicago Juarez. That's in the Chicago Public League 96-28. Homewood Flossmoor was a winner tonight, 82-45 over Lockport, and we'll give you some more scores at halftime from across the state. It is the first night of the boys state basketball tournament in the big schools. The small schools kind of tipped off on Monday with more schools in the smaller divisions. Here's a 3, no good, picked out of there, and 1 coming up Desmond Jackson finishes that one off, and it's 24-19.
Yeah, it really looks like Rock Island's starting to pick apart this zone here. We've seen multiple three-point opportunities on the wing, and then he was kind of able to just crash the board and get the and one there.
And although they are picking apart this zone, they do seem to still be struggling on the defensive end, and West is scoring at ease on the defensive end. It's now 24-19 as another missed free throw from Desmond there.
Yeah, a score that might be of high interest to people, especially back in Rock Island. Quincy beat Alton tonight 48-47. The Blue Devils were just about out in the first round this evening. The Redbirds took them right to the limit, and we're seeing another good one right here as Taylor Hufferman scores again.
That's shocking, as Quincy's number 5 in 4A according to the poll that just came out. So they're actually one of the top teams in the Pekin sectional. Some believe the top team, only winning by 1 in the round of 128.
That's a good pass.
The round of 128. Zach, I've never heard that term before. I love it. The round of 128. Round of 256. Here we go, right?
All the terms confuse me. I gotta keep it to the numbers.
26-19 our score, and breaking free now
go.
is Isaiah Robinson in for the layup that time. And an easy one for Normal West. 28-19 Wildcats. They have the lead, the 7 seed here in the regional. Looking to get another date with Normal Community on Friday down the lane. And there is KJ Lamont, his first 2.
I think he might try to go to takeover mode now. We haven't seen a lot from him, and he just went straight to the hoop there, not really caring about that zone and just going straight through the guts of the Cats.
Yeah, you got to love the tempo of this contest. A much faster paced game than what we saw in game number 1. Hofferman now down the lane, gets inside, runs over a player, has his own rebound.
He's having a game.
He's got 12, and he's got 6 field goals.
I think his dad might have given him a prep talk before the game. You know, his dad is Coach Hofferman, so maybe he has a little extra juice tonight.
30-21 our score. Wildcats lead by 9. 1:26 to go. Second quarter. Nice head fake that time. Down the lane, and they'll kick it off and throw it away. That was Devontae Cartwright right there that threw it away. And now Isaiah Duarte, a 5'10 junior in the lineup.
Devontae Cartwright's been showing a lot of emotion. He showed it on the defensive end after another shot by West, and here goes another full court attempt. Looked like, that's going to be a foul on the Rocks. It's going to be a foul on Duarte there. He was trying to pull him down.
Looked like a holding penalty, honestly.
It sure did, didn't it?
That's what you could call that, basically.
Got that one on the free safety right there, trying to cover up the fly pattern on the backside.
Yeah, might as well throw the flag out at that point.
All right, West got it back here.
Here's Nate Moore now with the basketball. 1:15 to go here before halftime. 30-21 our score. Normal West has the lead, looking to pull the upset here on their rivals' home floor here this evening against Rock Island, the 4 seed. Nate Moore on the drive. The floater doesn't go down, and Lamont's got the rebound, and here come the Rocks back the other way. Under a minute to go, second quarter. Lamont inside, he missed it. Rebound, and the and one coming up. That was Clark Pugh, who just came off the bench, the 6'4 junior, trying to get one home, and he did. Now a chance to get within 6 here if Clark Pugh can knock down a free throw.
West scored 34 points against Community Saturday.
Oh, wow.
It's about halftime. They've got 30 already. This is a very different game from West, and they honestly look like a completely different team.
Yeah, it's different tempo, and also, Rock Island, a lot of really good athletes, but not the same size you see against Normal Community as well. The Ironmen really have the ability to take away the paint with as much size as they've got. It's hard to really get anything inside on Normal Community, and Rock Island just doesn't have that same type of size. Free throw, no good. Rebound tipped around inside. Pugh Clark had it blocked right there, and it will be Rock Island ball. 30-23, 50.5 seconds to go here before halftime.
Yeah, this is certainly a team that West probably matches up with pretty good because they don't really have a player taller than West's tallest player, even though West, with tallest guy, is basically 6'5" on the floor, as Nate Moore tries to take it coast to coast.
Nate Moore all the way down. He couldn't find it, and here comes Rock Island back the other way. With the ball, Clark Pugh that time went all the way in, and he is fouled. And Coach Ed Hofferman wanting to know what was going on the other end with no call, but Clark Pugh has come off the bench here and been a real spark for Rock Island with a chance now to get within 5 here before halftime.
And Hofferman just put up a 2. I think he's up to 2 fouls. It looks like Malik Givens is going to be coming in for him. I remember playing against him last year in JV, and he had like 25 on us, I'm going to be honest. He went kind of crazy.
Here's the free throw by Clark Pugh. Doesn't go down. He is now 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Well, at halftime, we'll get you some scores from across the state of Illinois. Regional semi-final night, 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A here on a Wednesday evening. We'll talk a little bit about Rock Island and Normal West in the first half. Free throw no good. A surprising first half. The underdog Wildcats 11 and 19 on the season. You can throw the records out the window once we start tournament time. As we just about saw a big upset in our sectional tonight, Quincy holding on to beat Alton 48-47. That would have been a 6-over-2 in that particular contest, but the Blue Devils do advance on.
Like Ben said, everybody's 0-0 when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, absolutely. And doesn't matter what your seed is, everybody gets their shot. Under 10 seconds now with Nathan Moore with 6. Moore with 5. Moore between the legs with 4. Moore turns the corner at 2. Kicks it off to Zaleski at 1. Got to fire it at the horn. It's got to be no good, and it wouldn't have counted if it had gone down anyway. Nate Moore probably should have taken that shot, decided to pass it off. But Normal West, what a really nice first half for the Wildcats. They lead Rock Island by a score of 30-23 at the break. The Wildcats got off to a great start, 14-7 after 1. They lead 30-23 here at halftime. And let's start with you, Ben. Kind of give me your impressions. What went well for the Wildcats?
Yeah, I think this is a great first half for the Wildcats, honestly. They didn't seem like flustered at all, even though they were the lower seed, you know. They seemed like they had an answer for everything Rock Island was throwing their way early in the game. You know, they're 2-1-2, definitely threw Rock Island off a little bit. They had great, even as Rock Island starting to, you know, pick apart the defense a little bit. I feel like West still had great defensive effort. It seems like every time that Rock Island tries to get in the paint, West is at least trying to put a hand up, put a hand on it. We've seen some great blocks, some fouls go their way at the same time. But then I think that's just been a great defensive effort that's held Rock Island to not a lot of points. And then offensively, we know West can score. You know, they have a lot of ball handlers. They have a great tempo because we've seen just at least three guards in pretty much the whole contest, and we've seen the forwards, which with Taylor and CJ, they've been moving really fast. So I think if they can continue that pace and continue to score at will, especially with that press, you know, because I feel like if you have 5 guys that can dribble and move fast, you know, it's going to be hard for Rock Island to really press them as the game goes on. So if they can keep getting buckets like that, it might be hard for Rock Island to get back in this game, you know, especially if West just keeps scoring at will like it seems like they have been in the first half.
You know, it's really interesting because you have a team like Rock Island who is very used to playing in front of large crowds, electric atmospheres, and this is probably their biggest game of the year as of date. You know, getting the first round IHSA playoffs. It's kind of a quiet gym right now, a quiet atmosphere, and you kind of have to adjust to that a little bit. But Rock Island trails by 7 at the half. And what have you seen, Zach, from the Rocks in half number 1?
Well, from the Rocks, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of offense. I was expecting this is a really fast-paced team. They average 62 points a game, and right now they're only on pace for 46. Now, they did attempt a lot, but it seemed like that zone was kind of scaring them. They didn't want to go inside a lot in the beginning, especially KJ Lamont seemed to kind of just be chilling out, and they've been just accepting three-point shots and not really trying to force it inside. I think they need to keep forcing it inside because every time they do, they get a foul, and if they can knock down their free throws, they'll be just fine. They can obviously shoot. The more you knock it in inside, the more you're going to open up that three-point opportunity, and they definitely have some shooters. We saw Larry Olivier knock down 2 threes at ease. He is a shooter. Obviously, KJ Lamont has a lot of range. They just have a lot of power on the offensive end. They just haven't really shown it. And then looking defensively, obviously, I've been talking, this is an offensive team. They only give up 43 points a game. They've already given up 30 to West here. And it's just been some lackadaisical defense, if I'm being quite honest. That's what I've seen from them. I haven't seen a lot of effort on the defensive end, lots of open shots from West, and just missed opportunities from Rock Island. Kind of just letting West get into the paint pretty easily, and even when they do let them in, lots of fouls. So Rock Island has a lot to talk about. They're still in this, though. This is a single-digit game. We got 2 quarters to play. I'm excited.
Yeah, a lot of offensive rebounds for West. That's something that when you say that, that's definitely, it seems like they're not putting in a lot of effort. They're kind of letting West get to their spots. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something that's going to be discussed in the locker room.
And, Zach, you want to give us a quick rundown of the Big 12 across the board? Looks like you got a couple of scores written down from a couple of our neighbors from Peoria.
Yeah, so we got a couple scores so far, and we'll also just go through the schedule for the Big 12. So starting off at 4A, it's actually just Community. Took down Manuka earlier by about 20, and right now we got the Western Rock Island game. Then looking at 3A, Bloomington's season has been eliminated. They lost in the regional quarterfinals to Decatur Eisenhower, finishing the season 0-27. Then looking at Richwoods, number 2 Richwoods took down number 6 East Peoria today, 69-40. The other score we have is from 2A. Number 1 Manual took down number 9 Central Catholic, 83-58. Looking at other games, got number 4 Peoria plays number 7 Dunlap today at 7:30. The winner actually is going to play the winner of Metamora and Galesburg. Most likely will be Metamora. That should be a great game. It's a really hard opponent. And Champaign Centennial plays Muhammad Seymour, who Community saw earlier this season. The winner plays winner of Decatur MacArthur and Decatur Eisenhower. And Champaign Central will be playing Urbana at 7:30. The winner of that plays Mount Zion or Danville. And the other game from the Big 12, number 6 P&D plays number 3 U-High. That is actually going to be at P&D, 7:30, so that's going on right now as well.
Yeah, P&D, 2A school, but so is normal U-High as well, a 2A school. So the Pioneers taking on the Irish in that one. Well, one of the things that we need to mention is, talking about Rock Island from the Quad Cities, is some of the great history that the Rocks have in high school basketball. Really interesting. You look at Mark Polite taking over the program a few years ago. Before that, 40 years of Rock Island basketball since 1980. They only had 2 coaches. Duncan Reed coached the Rocks from 1980 all the way to 2000, and Tom Siegel took over from 2000 to 2020. They have an outstanding history in high school basketball. Coach Siegel led them to the 2011 state championship. They won the title there. They've won numerous regional championships, and Duncan Reed had an outstanding run as well at Rock Island. But consistency of Rock Island basketball, and Coach Polite now, 3 straight 20-win seasons. He's got Rock Island right where they've always been, consistent winners in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, and you say numerous regional championships. To put a little number on it, 28 regional championships in the last 40 years. Jeez. That's exceptional. And they have, like you said, won first place in 2011. They're a 2-time second place finisher, 1-time third place finisher, 4-time fourth place finisher. They've won regionals 8 of the last 11 years. This is a really talented team, and right now, just a really talented program, really well decorated. And right now, they're actually down 7 to West. I did not expect this, but this is a great game, really fast paced. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about why that has happened so far in half number 1. And it seemed like Normal West really got the tempo they wanted early in the game. It was kind of a half-court game. Every time down, Rock Island was looking at that 2-1-2 zone. It took the Rocks a while to figure out how to kind of break the 2-1-2 down. By the time they did, they were down 7 at the end of the first quarter. They still find themselves down 7 here. And you got to think Rock Island's going to do everything they possibly can to increase the tempo in the second half and really get this game going up and down the floor.
Yeah, this is a team that's number 12 in 4A, so they definitely want to make it past this round. I mean, obviously everybody wants to win it all, and this is a team that had a really good finish this season. Right before Quincy, they had won 10 straight. They'd gotten on fire. It's just a really good team, and right now they're just struggling.
Yeah, when you talk about pushing the tempo too, one thing to note is that they've been pretty much full court pressing the whole game, and it hasn't really had much effect thus far on West. They've still been able to get some points, so it's interesting to see what Rock Island will do, especially because if I had to guess, I would say they probably aren't coming into the second half down a lot. So it will be interesting to see how Rock Island responds here, because we know they are a great team, but like we said, everyone's 0-0 when it comes to playoff time.
So, Zach, we talked about this side of the super sectional, the normal community game, and how many good teams there are in that northern southern subsectional here that normal community's in. Let's talk about the other side of the teams that would meet normal community, or possibly another team coming out of this bracket. But Downers Grove North, Bennett, the whole group up there, just a loaded super sectional that the Ironmen are in, and also Normal West and Rock Island.
Yeah, so coming out of this, in the super sectional, if community can make it that far, they're in the Aurora sectional, East Aurora, there's Bennett, there's Downers Grove North. So that is a lot of talent. And then looking at the Rich Township, out of that one, there's Rich Township, Homewood, Flossmoor, Bloom, Marist. And going back to that last one, Bennett is one of the top teams, as well as Downers Grove North, and
I think the big favorite actually is Bolingbrook, who's sitting at number 3. Bolingbrook, the Raiders are really, really good basketball team. And there's some people think that not only is Bolingbrook the best team in the Super, they are going to win the state championship. We'll see how that goes. And, you know, a lot of years in 4A, 3A, there's a definitive favorite, a team that is favored to win. There just isn't that here in 2024. There is nobody that is head and shoulders above anybody else. Maybe Curie, maybe Homewood Flossmoor, but it is wide open right now in the big schools. It should be an outstanding 4A tournament.
Yeah, and Downers Grove's actually number 4 in 4A, and Bennett's number 9 in 4A, so that's all just out of the Aurora sectional. Then you can't forget about Curie and Kenwood coming out of the Riverside sectional. Then even looking a little bit at 3A, because you got Richwoods in there, and the Pontiac, Metamora, Kankakee, Richwoods, that's all top 10 teams among 3A. And then the favorite from 3A is Thornton. Metamora's right behind them. DePaul College Prep's right behind them. They kind of have a three favorites.
Yeah, those are definitely the 3 favorites, and we've seen DePaul College Prep just kind of keep moving up, and that win for Normal Community back in January looking better and better all the time, able to knock off DePaul College Prep. DePaul College Prep, the Rams, are the defending 2A state champs because they trophied twice in 2 years. They got bumped up to 3A with the success factor, and they are going to be a tough out. Inside, KJ Lamont missed the layup, and boy, that just really continues that trend for Rock Island, having a hard time finishing at the rim. We saw that a lot in the first half.
Yeah, that was a great defensive effort by West. It is kind of encouraging to see KJ Lamont, you know, take that, get going downhill and try to take that, because it seems like if there was any success for Rock Island in that first half, it was probably getting downhill and trying to finish there, which gives some fouls and some finishes.
Here's a 3 on the other end, and that one goes down right there. Desmond Jackson knocks it in. He's got 9 now in the contest here. Now it's 30-26, and here comes Rock Island now with more pressure here to start the second half. West just about turned it over, but Hofferman able to hang on to it. Boy, Nate Moore all over the place. Well, that was quite a dribbling act right there.
Yeah.
Dumped it off for C.J. Wilson, and he'll get the ball back outside. Hofferman kicks it out. Isaiah Robinson down the lane over to Nate Moore. And, boy, I'm not sure how the Wildcats still have the ball at this point, because it has been all over the place in this possession.
Nate Moore is a great ball handler. That pass right there looked like it was going to go out. He got it with one hand. There's a little ball fake.
Woo!
Oh, crossed him up a little bit.
That
to
boy
pass
fall.
it off. This ball movement's insane. The 3 is up.
Oh, that would have been tough if he hit that.
Zaleski had a hand on it out of bounds, and I'm not sure. We didn't see a lot of zone from Rock Island in the first half, but we were seeing some zone from the Rocks here to start half number 2. They're within 4 here. We'll see if they can get over the top here in the third quarter and try to get the lead. That would be really big for Rock Island, not to have to play from behind. There's the 2-1-2 zone that gave the Rocks fits in half number 1. We'll see what they talked about in the locker room to try to break this thing down.
Just like West needed a hot start to start the game, Rock Island needs a hot start to start this quarter, and it looks like they're getting that. As the 3 is
back
up.
outside. That's a 3 for Zulu. Lawson, Zulu's got the 3. And Coach Ed Hofferman might need a timeout here. It's 30-29. They have seen that 7-point lead just about erased now here to start the second half.
Yeah, it would definitely be big for Rock Island to not have to play from a deficit, especially with the pressure of being that 1 seed. You know, if you're ahead, it seems like things are going according to plan a little bit more.
And one, and there goes the lead for Normal West.
Here come the Rocks
in a row. Out of the locker room here now for Rock Island. This was kind of the run we were looking for the entire first half. Rock Island never found it, but they find it here as Desmond Jackson has been the key. He's got 11 in the contest now, 6 here in the half.
Oh, Rocky for the West Wildcats in the second half here.
I like the fun, Ben.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ben's got him coming all night, ladies and gentlemen.
I was thinking about that one for a while, you know.
Just waiting for the right time.
Yep.
We get a foul here against Rock Island now.
Both coaches are pointing in similar directions. I'm not really sure what all the fuss is about, but
well, I think they're trying to arrange their team where they want them here in this situation. And again, we're seeing a 1-3-1 zone here now from Rock Island to start the second half. So a little bit of a change up here for the Rocks. They really have changed the game. Zaleski 3 corner. That's too long.
No
rebound,
hesitation.
C.J. Wilson. He'll put it home.
Yeah, those offensive rebounds have really been great for West all game. They've been killing the Rocks.
Inside now, we get a travel. That one Going to turn it over for Rock Island right there, and that was KJ Lamont who got the travel. For Normal West in the first half, Nate Moore has scored 7 points. Andrell Alexander had 6. It was actually Taylor Hofferman who led them with 12 in that first half. Now it's good scoring for Normal West is just about turning it over. The Wildcats, who have a 1-point lead here with 5:15 to go in the third. It's been a back-and-forth game and a good one here in Game 2 from Normal Community High School.
Yeah, this has certainly been an exciting matchup, man. And I feel like whatever team that Community plays going into this next round, it'll be a worthy opponent for sure.
Inside and laying it home, Isaiah Robinson. So Rock Island ran off the first 8 of the quarter. West has come back and gotten the last 4. It's 34-31. We thought the Wildcats might fold with that early run. Certainly not happening. KJ Lamont now back outside. They swing it around. Zulu's 3, no good. And Hofferman's got the rebound. And West now trying to build on that 3-point lead. 4:40 for the third. Isaiah Robinson, Zaleski 3, good. Michael Zaleski lines one up. And West has responded with the last 7 now. And a steal by Isaiah Robinson. Hofferman's got it down the lane. I thought he was going to throw it down. And he's going to head to the line. Taylor Hofferman will head to the line, shooting 2 here. And what a response by Normal West. They got behind 31-30. They have reeled off the last 7 now in the contest. And the Wildcats lead by 6 with 4:23 to go here in the third quarter.
Hey, I feel like Lamont? Yeah, I feel like you got to give it. I feel like if you're Taylor, you got to give it to Nate Moore there. He was open. But honestly, I respect it, man. He just went up for that dunk. You know, KJ had a hard fall there, too. That was just a crazy play in general.
Good.
Yeah, I thought he was going to throw that down. He took off and looked like he was going to rattle the rim there. Couldn't quite get it down, but now at the line. He missed the first one. The lefty strokes the second one.
Yeah, and like I said, going into this game, the West Wildcats, they're just pesky, man. They just won't go away. We saw that with Community. We were up by like 20 at some point in the fourth quarter, and then they got it within 3s. They just don't go away. They don't seem flustered by the moment at all. They just don't fold under pressure, I guess.
Rock Island scored the first 8 of the quarter. West has the last 8. There's a 3-pointer for the Rocks going down. Desmond Jackson has carried the load. He's got 8 in the quarter, 14 in the game, 38-34. We could be in for a really good finish in Game 2 from Normal Community High School tonight.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. This game might go down as a classic.
Zaleski 3. That's off the iron. Rebound tipped around and out of bounds off of Rock Island. And it'll be really interesting. We talked about it in the first game, a little bit in this one. But the closer we get to the end of the contest, the tighter it gets for Rock Island. They are expected to win this game here tonight. They are the 4 seed. They are the ranked team. Hofferman inside had it rejected. It's off. KJ Lamont out of bounds.
Well, it looks like I bet KJ Lamont wish he could have that one back. Kind of put his hand out there as a reflex. Seemed to hit it out there. He is not having a great game, but Desmond Jackson's really coming up for him. 14 points. 3 points more than he averages for the season. Nate Moore getting that one. Looked like KJ Lamont wanted to take that one away.
Yeah, now Lamont only has 2 points in the contest. They have really shut him down so far. Thanks for joining us here on the Ink Spot. You can catch the regional championship game 7 o'clock Friday night. We'll be with you about 6:50 for the championship game, the regional final. So join us here on the Ink Spot Friday night. Zach and Ben will have the call. Normal Community will take on the winner of this one. Still very much in doubt from Normal Community High School here this evening.
Yeah, I think for the Rocks, it's going to be defense the rest of the way, because it seems like they've been able to score a little bit more consistently in this second half, but it seems like West's been able to do the same thing they did in the first half. They've just been able to score at will, so I think defense will be a big factor to see the outcome of this game.
Ben Go will enter the lineup, the 6'3 junior. Thanks for joining us here, whether it's in Bloomington Normal or in the Quad Cities tonight. Rock Island trying to stay alive. They're down 4 here, under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Normal West has played a really nice game. That's over and back right there. There it is. It's almost like once you enter the front court, that backcourt line becomes almost like an out-of-bounds line at that point, and Zaleski bounced it on the other side, and that is a turnover against Normal West.
KJ Lamont seems to be slowing up the pace here.
He almost has to against this 2-1-2. Really like what Coach Ed Hofferman's put in place here with the 2-1-2, because if you watch, Taylor will also flatten out into a 3-2 as well. Down the lane now. Here's a 3-ball corner for Rock Island. It goes down. Larry Olivier Jr.'s got the 3. His third 3 of the contest now, and now it's 38-37, and Rock Island now has reeled off the last 6.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like their offense is getting going now. They've made about 3 threes this half, I think. It's all about if they can hold them on defense.
Timeout Normal West, 38-37, 2:16 to go here in the third quarter. And this is one of the hard parts here about playing a neutral floor game. Not a tremendous amount of fans from either side. It's a long trip on a Wednesday night to come over for Rock Island. So you're kind of playing in a fairly quiet gym right now, and you've got the biggest 10 minutes of the season coming up on both sides.
Yeah, I know they are getting nervous, but I'm sure they're excited for this as well. This is a really good matchup. And one thing I wanted to point out, so Lawson Zulu is just a sophomore. He's a starter for Rock Island. He's knocked down a 3, and I think it's gonna be really pivotal to see how he's gonna be able to play in these last 10 minutes. He hasn't seen like such big minutes just being a sophomore, and it's gonna be really big for him as well as Rock Island. They are expected to win this game, and West is just really hungry tonight.
Now look over to the other side behind the Rock Island bench, about 5 rows up. You see the Normal community coaching staff over there, Coach Witzik, Coach Nix, Coach Swinberg over there in the crowd. I think I see Coach Foster there as well, but prepping and preparing for a regional final on Friday night. Can't wait for that one, as Normal community won the last 2 regionals.
Yeah, there's no one you can really scout for right now because this game's going both ways. It's really just
you're looking at both teams.
Yeah, enjoying a great basketball game right now, honestly. Oh, my God.
Here's a 3, stop and go move, doesn't go down, rebound. I think that hit the top right there, the bar that comes down to secure the basket. That would have given Rock Island the lead. That would have gone down at 40-38, did not go down, so it stays at 38-37. 2 minutes to go here, third quarter. Hofferman now in the front court. He's going to bring it up, and I think he either got fouled or he traveled, one or the other. And they're going to call a foul.
I think they called it a foul, yeah.
They certainly did, and KJ Lamont picks that one up right there. He's got 3 fouls now, and Rock Island, the more they pressure, the more they're going to pick up fouls. That is 14 fouls now on the Rocks. 2 shots the rest of the quarter now here for Normal West.
And now it's getting rocky for the Rock Island Rocks.
Another one.
Yep. The turntables have turned.
Well, let's see if they can handle the pressure here down the stretch now. A 1-point game. Nate Moore, 138. Moore on the way. That's off the front iron. Rebound picked out of there now by Jackson. Jackson has been outstanding so far tonight. For the lead for Rock Island. Can't find it right there. Rebound Nate White now. And Normal West will try to build on a 1-point advantage. 1:20 to go in the third.
Wow, the corner 3's been a big shot this game. It's actually the most efficient shot in the NBA because it's a little closer than the actual 3-point shot, and I'm sure that's pretty close with high school as well. This is 2024 basketball. We're seeing a lot of 3-point shots, a lot of corner 3s, and just fast-paced basketball. It's a great game.
CJ Wilson now out front, hands the ball off to Isaiah Robinson. Under a minute we go now here in the third period. Hofferman's had a big night so far. He's got 13 in the contest to lead Normal West in scoring. 49 seconds now to go in the third. I got to think Normal West is looking for 1 shot here. Yep. Clock down to 43 seconds now. They lead by 1.
Seem to be taking their time here. They're definitely looking for that last shot, which actually I would have expected them to go for it just because of how fast this game's been. But they're taking their time. I think that's the smart move. You got the lead. You want to hang on to it, hopefully build on it.
Now the count is on. He's got to give it up here. There it is, and it's a 5-second violation on Isaiah Robinson. He couldn't create any space. Good job by the official right on top of the call. You could see it coming. 24.1 seconds. It'll be interesting to see what Rock Island does. You got to think they're going to want the last shot here as well. A couple subs coming in. Alex Austin enters the lineup for Normal West as Coach Ed Hofferman wants to get his best defensive team on the floor here with 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems like Malik and AJ have been really good at just, staying on their guy and getting steals the whole game. So
13 seconds now on the clock as KJ Lamont has the ball now with 10. Lamont now with 8, still with the ball now with 6. Gonna have to make a move. Long three on the way, he got fouled. Oh, Taylor Hofferman that time will pick up the foul on KJ Lamont, and Lamont will head to the line with a chance to put Rock Island in the lead here at the end of the third quarter.
Came down in his landing area there, and that actually happened earlier. It wasn't called. Got called that time. Taylor was not happy about it. Here comes the first free throw. It is
free
good.
throw
We
is
got a tie
good.
ball game with 4 seconds
Taylor,
left.
it's something to
in the
note.
third.
Taylor has 3 fouls as well. So both KJ and Taylor, they've been on each other the whole game. They both have 3 fouls.
And Taylor Hofferman's actually, he's been winning that battle.
Yeah,
There's
for
the
most of
second
the game.
free throw. That's a round and out, so cannot give them the lead here. 38-38 our score.
With 3.9, if it was 3.8 on the clock, that would be a lot of 38s.
Oh, West.
A lot of 3s, a lot of 8s.
West has a chance here now as they trail by 1.
Oh,
I'm still processing what you just said,
I
Zach.
wish West
there.
had 39 right now. That would be very pleasing to the eyes. It's 39-38 with 3.9 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Oh, here we go. There's a launch by Nate Moore, and that one is off right, and that will do it for 3 quarters. We have completed 3 quarters from Normal Community High School. Our score, Rock Island 39, Normal West 38. We'll have the final 8 minutes on the ink spot. The winner gets Normal Community in the regional final on Friday night. Well, Zach, give me your impressions for Rock Island. A much better third quarter than what we saw from the Rocks in the first half.
Well, they were aggressive, and I actually said that they needed to drive it a lot more, and instead they shot it a lot. It obviously worked. They came into that quarter down 7. Now they're up 1. Some really sharp shooting from Rock Island, and this is what we expected coming into this matchup. We expected a lot of points scored from the Rocks and just really fast-paced offense. And then on the defensive end, they did a better job of stopping West, put some zone into the game plan, and that's the quarter they want to see. And they're really leading up to a really exciting fourth quarter. It is a 1-point game, 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, so it certainly should be a great finish to the contest here tonight. 39-38 our score. Desmond Jackson has led the way for Rock Island. He's got 14 points. Taylor Hofferman's got 13 for Normal West. He is the leading scorer. Nate Moore did not score in that third quarter. He still has 7. And KJ Lamont has been held to 4 so far for Rock Island in this contest. West has done a really good job on the leading scorer for the Rocks.
Yeah, and we'll see him, KJ Lamont, on the bench to start the fourth quarter. You know, he averages 20 points a game. That's definitely someone you do not want to get going in this fourth quarter for if you're West.
And looking at, he took that last shot in the third quarter, and that was just a deep 3. Wasn't expecting him to shoot that one. I think he saw that he might have got fouled, but he is that number 1 option, even though he hasn't been tonight.
Now the Wildcats trying to get the lead. Rock Island scored the first 8 of the third quarter. Got off to a nice start, but West came back and got the next 7 to retake the lead in quarter number 3. A 1-point lead now for Rock Island as we enter the fourth here. You can see the Rocks switching a lot of the interchanges out front here. 7.5 to go. The Wildcats trying to pull the upset here in the regional semifinals. They are the 7 seed. Isaiah Robinson now back outside inside, spinning and turning. Malik Givens that time kind of threw it up on the rim. Looked like he got bailed out that time with the call. He will head to the line for Normal West.
Yeah, it looked like he almost had his back to the basket at one point. That would have been very tough if he made that, but
that was not a high percentage shot that time. Was able to throw that one up on the rim and got the call here. Now has a chance to put Normal West back in the lead here with 7:20 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's 2 really promising sophomore guards, and we got Lawson Zulu from the Rocks, and then obviously right there we have Malik Givens Smith from West tying the game up 39-39. West has a chance to take the lead, which would be another lead change for this game, and it looks like we're going to stay at the tie here.
Duarte has it now, 39 all here. That was the score you were looking for a moment ago, Zach, with the 3.9 seconds there.
Yeah,
and there it is.
Great.
Yep, a little bit too late there. 7:09 here now to go in the ball game. This 2-1-2 zone has been problematic for Rock Island all night long. West has done a great job. Here's a 3 out front. That goes down. Larry Olivier Jr.'s got his 4th three-pointer, 42-39 now. Rock Island barges to the front.
And he's automatic from 3.
And timeout now for Normal West. 6:49 to go here. Fourth quarter, a 30-second timeout. And for Normal West, I think it's going to be where do the points come from down the stretch here, and just trying to keep Rock Island now within their sights, not get too far behind here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, something to note is that the start of this fourth quarter, the West two main scorers, you could say, probably Nate and Taylor tonight, they were not on the floor. So it seems like West's strategy for this first few minutes is probably give your guys a break and then clamp up Rock Island on defense for as long as you can. But Rock Island kind of put a stop to that with the three right there, and KJ's coming in right now. So if you're West, I think you probably gotta get Nate and Taylor in there pretty soon if you want to stay in this game.
Yeah, those are the two leading scorers for West, especially Taylor Hofferman. He's had a great game, but it looks like he's heading back to the bench. Nate Moore is coming back in.
So Nate Moore back in the lineup here now for Normal West, as the Wildcats are going to need the offense. It was 14-7 West after one, 30-23 West at halftime. Rock Island took the lead going to the fourth quarter at 39-38, and right now 42-39 Rock Island. 6:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Isaiah Robinson now out front for Normal West, gives it off to C.J. Wilson, and the Wildcats will set the offense here against man-to-man defense here from Rock Island. There's the 5 count, and it's going to be Rock Island basketball, the second 5 count forced by the Rocks here now in the second half.
And we're seeing a lot of that 5 count. I like that. That's kind of keeping the game moving. If we were seeing more of that against Moline in the Community Moline game, I think that game might have gone, the score might have been a little bigger.
31-29 was the final score in that contest between Moline and Normal Community. A very low-scoring game there. A little higher scoring here this evening. 42-39. Rock Island building on a 3-point lead. And we got travel, and I think a good call that time by the official, as going down the lane was Desmond Jackson. Looked like he took a full step before he got that ball on the deck.
Yeah, he was thinking about shooting it before he got it. You can never do that.
Don't forget the Normal Community Lady Iron will play tomorrow night in the sectional final against Alton. That game at Normal West, and we're going to get a push coming up against Rock Island here.
And Isaiah Robinson just went right at him. He's second in points per game for the Cats, and he's actually first in assists per game. He's that facilitator. He's been rather quiet tonight. Actually, he's having a good game doing the quiet stuff, being able to pass the ball. Great defense from him tonight.
You get a chance, get out and see the Lady Iron try to get to the super sectional tomorrow night. Alton is number 2 in Class 4A, Normal Community number 6. It should be an outstanding game in the sectional final.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Isaiah Robinson down the lane, all the way left hand. He got it. Isaiah Robinson all the way in. He's got 6 now in the contest, and Normal West will not go away. 42-41, 5:44 to go, fourth quarter.
I was literally just about to say that. Yeah, they're so pesky. They just don't go away, man.
This is a great
Let's see if they can hold out on defense here.
Some really great defense. Rock Island's fell down a couple times on this possession alone.
Yeah, stop will be huge here from Normal West, honestly.
KJ Lamont pulls it back out now, looking to break down the defense. Lamont gets down inside. Nowhere to go, kicks it back out. So I lost it off his foot that time, was Devontae Cartwright, and picked out of there by the Wildcats. Normal West with a chance to take the lead. 5:10 to go here, fourth quarter.
And you can see they're not rushing. They're comfortable in this moment. They're not flustered. They don't fold under pressure. Let's see if West can get it done here.
Nate Moore is fouled out front, and that is 3 team fouls now on Rock Island. 2 more, and Normal West will be at the free throw line. And we are getting down to that time now where you really start feeling the pressure, especially if you're the higher seed in Rock Island with their season on the line here. The 4 seed somewhat on the ropes with 5 minutes to go.
And this is playoff basketball, even though it's just as I said earlier, the round of 128. This is high stakes. It's thrown away there. Rock Island ball with a 1-point lead. Can't have those mistakes with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Nate Moore threw that one away right there, and now Rock Island with a chance to build on their 1-point lead. Led by 1 coming into the quarter. Both teams have scored 3 points here in the fourth quarter now. We're 3 minutes in, 4:48 to go. KJ Lamont trying to get downhill in the dribble drive, cut off that time by CJ Wilson. Down inside, here's a 3 ball on the way by Jackson. Is down the well. Desmond Jackson has been huge for Rock Island. He's got 17 in the game now, and Rock Island builds a 4-point lead here with 4:38 to go.
Yeah, just looking at stats, you see Jackson is the leader in rebounds per game for this Rock Island team. You would not expect him to be such a great three-point shooter. I think he's had 3 threes on the night. He's the leading scorer. He is having himself a game.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's got 3 3-pointers so far in this contest. Larry Olivier Jr.'s got 4 for Rock Island in the game. Devontae Cartwright's knocked down 1, and so has Lawson Zulu for Rock Island. So the 3 balls have been going down for the Rocks. They've knocked down 9 3-point shots here so far in the contest. For Normal West, Nate Moore's got a 3, and also then a couple for Michael Zaleski, and a couple 3-pointers for Undrell Alexander. 5 threes for Normal West. Well, 45-41. Ben, what are you looking for Normal West here down the stretch?
Yeah, I think you got to try to get open as much as you can and, just to really go in attack mode, honestly. I know that's hard to say when you're down, but you just got to be able to trust what you can do on defense and just be confident like they have all game, and I think they can get it done that way. But you got to be confident in your shot. You can't falter in this moment, especially with your season on the line.
Nate Moore looking confident right there, but nice job that time.
Travel.
And he came down with the basketball, so it will be a traveling violation against Normal West. So Rock Island starting to step up, and we'll see now if the Rocks can put a little distance between themselves and the Wildcats here down the stretch. We get down to the 4-minute mark here of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, KJ Lamont with the ball in his hands, looking like he's driving, kicks it out. Number 0, Larry Olivier, no good. We got Isaiah Robinson taking it on the other end. I wonder if he's going to slow it up, and it looks like he will.
Yeah, certainly did. Under 4 we go now, 4-point game. Robinson got fouled. 4 team fouls now on Rock Island. 1 more, and West goes into the 2 shots the rest of the way. That could be pivotal because you're putting the Wildcats at the line on every foul in the last 4 minutes. Rock Island has 4 team fouls. West has yet to commit one here in the fourth period.
Yeah, as the clock keeps ticking, that is huge. Those 4 fouls compared to West's 0 is going to be a big factor.
C.J. Wilson now back out for Taylor Hofferman. He's driving inside as a wild shot, and down it goes off the glass. Hofferman's got 15 now in the game. 45-43, 3.5 minutes to go in the contest.
He wasn't even looking at the rim. I think he just did a little double clutch, double clutch. I can't even speak. That was a crazy bucket, man.
Ben Kerber is speechless. That was so good.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
KJ Lamont is double teamed, gets that basketball off, and they throw it away. Desmond Jackson, couldn't handle it. And how about Normal West?
They just don't go away.
3:16 to go, fourth quarter. They're down 2. I thought maybe Rock Island had the separation they needed a few moments ago, and West is right back at them.
Well, Rock Island was up by 4, had the ball in their hand. They really, one more shot, they had the chance to kind of make some separation from West, but West makes a tough bucket from Taylor Hofferman, forces the turnover, and they could even take the lead here with the 3.
Hofferman again down the lane. He's blocked from behind. Caught it, threw it back to Wilson, who lays it in.
She's taking over this game right now.
What a game from Hofferman.
C.J. Wilson's got 4, and we've got a brand new basketball game now. 2:45 to go. We are tied at 45.
Yeah,
KJ Lamont now on the drive, guarded by Wilson, down left hand, and we'll have a foul. First team foul against Normal West. It'll be based on out of bounds here for Rock Island.
Yeah, and you see Taylor that was a smart basketball player right there. It seems these last 2 possessions he's been trying to draw the foul, get them into that bonus. So he's really just taking over this game. It's really been crazy to see.
And he's not getting that 5th foul that would put West in the bonus, but that was great vision from him because he could have just went up again and tried to put that up, but instead he sees an open teammate, dishes it out. This is a game.
Yeah, Rock Island took a timeout. It's a full timeout here now for the Rocks. I think they know how pivotal this possession is to at least try to take the lead right here because Normal West has all the momentum. They've gotten a few stops here now in a row and a couple nice plays by Taylor Hofferman, able to get inside on a layup, and then also then with a nice pass inside for C.J. Wilson to knot the score here at 45. 2:41 to go in the contest, and this is what February Fever March Madness is all about, an upset brewing at Normal Community tonight.
And keep an eye on this star from Rock Island, KJ Lamont. throughout this game, he's been doing a lot of driving, and when he doesn't really see his opportunity, he's been kicking it out. And I'm sure he probably has 4 or 5 assists just from kicking it out, and his team such sharp shooters. But I would, right on that last play, he drove and he actually took the shot. Obviously, the whistle blew, but I would expect him to be very aggressive in these last 3 minutes. He averages 19 points a game. We haven't seen double digits from him today, and we probably won't. But I would expect him to be really aggressive and look for some baskets. So if I'm West, that's what I'm keying in on. But you gotta keep an eye on those 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
That's what they've been beating them on today.
I was gonna say, if I'm West, I think I'm letting KJ go with Taylor down to the rim. I think I don't want to let these open threes kicked out because they've been wide open the whole game. I think you gotta keep that on locks if you're West. I think you can let KJ go for it. Maybe if he gets a few, then he starts keying on a little bit. But I would not want to be killed by this corner 3 wide open for season on the line here.
And that's been their shot all game.
Yeah.
Normal West has gone to a man-to-man defense. We've seen a ton of zone, a little bit of man mixed in by the Wildcats. It's man-to-man coming out of the huddle. As they're trying to post up Michael Zaleski inside. They've got a trap now on the sideline, and they just about turned it over. When Rock Island able to come up with it now, 2:15 to go here. Fourth quarter, score tied at 45. Olivier Jr. now off to KJ Lamont.
They got
2
the
minutes on the
smallest guy
clock.
on him.
Lamont down the lane. There's that help you talked about. The 3 was open. Open again, but not taking it. There is Cartwright. He does, and he knocks it in.
That's that
Devontae Cartwright. All the baskets for Rock Island in the fourth quarter have been 3-pointers. They've got 3 buckets, 3 threes for 9 points, and none bigger than that one right there.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You can't get that 3 open. Now West got to get one back here.
Hofferman got
That was a
fouled,
nice
didn't
touch.
go down, tipped out. It's going to be out of bounds. Well, it looked like Taylor got fouled as he turned right there.
Yeah, Ben, you talked about West just staying kind of pesky all game, not really going away, and Zaleski really doesn't go away right there. He didn't push him out of bounds, but just his presence there, I think, kind of forced Rock Island to go out of bounds. Now West has another opportunity. That's big, getting that ball back right there.
1:27 to go here, fourth quarter. Normal West trails by 3, 48-45. Nate Moore now on the drive. Goes up, blocked.
no,
Big
that's not
block
the
that
shot.
time.
Wow, way
Tipped
to get the
around.
rebound.
Isaiah Robinson's got it. He's trapped. Now back outside for Hofferman, and they will reset now the offense. 1:05 to go in the contest. KJ Lamont got a piece of that one. Robinson down the lane. Floater with the left hand. Oh, it almost went down. Had hit the glass, hit the front, and bounced out with 55 seconds to go.
Seems like they're just going for the foul there. You might want to try to get a better shot, but at the
Maybe
same
a
time,
3.
at the same time, Rock Island's playing great defense right here to close it out.
KJ Lamont coming
KJ
in.
Lamont,
Oh,
he's going to
trying
throw it down, and Coach Mark Belite took a timeout. So timeout Rock Island here, 44.5 seconds. And it's interesting for the Wildcats. They still have to give 3 fouls to put Rock Island in the 2 shots here in this situation. So actually they have to give 4 fouls. They only have 1 team foul. So if they're going to foul, they're going to have to start fouling pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Got to think they're going to at least want 1 good trap, see if they can get that turnover before they start fouling.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting because obviously at some point, like if you're Rock Island, you're going to hold it for as long as you can. So at some point, if that trap doesn't work, it's going to be some interesting basketball. We're just going to see 4 straight fouls and just see it keep going back. So
Yeah, 4 fouls to give. That's a lot of fouls. I think, like what Mr. Swanson said, you got to get 1 trap maybe, but then you got to start reaching. I think if you're West,
Yeah.
just hope it goes your way.
we're talking about 4s a lot again. 48-45 with 44 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
44.5.
I don't know what's happening.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, 3-point
Numbers
game
are
right
coming
now.
out.
Rock Island is going to inbound the basketball here on the sideline right in front of us, clinging to a 3-point lead. It's been a good one here from Normal Community tonight. It looks like they are going to foul, and they
yeah.
do. You can hear the Wildcats bench yelling foul on the play because they still have to give 3 more fouls they've got to get before they are going to put Rock Island at the line. 39.6 seconds to go here in the contest.
Yeah, 5 seconds between that. If you go that 3 more times, that's about, 20 seconds left in the game. I was never really good at math.
And now another foul right there. Desmond Jackson got fouled. 3 team fouls now on the Wildcats. That took about a half a second off the clock right there. And now entering the lineup here is Alex Austin. You got to think he's in there probably to be able to foul here for Normal West. Zaleski will give a foul as Hofferman had to come off the floor because he's got 4 fouls, so they can't afford to have him foul in this situation and foul out of the game. 14 fouls now on Normal West, so one more will put Rock Island then at the free throw line here. 37.7 seconds now on the clock.
They're just giving KJ no room to breathe.
None.
Oh, good passing from Rock Island there.
Oh,
wow.
this could be bad for West. Oh, it looked like Rock Island had an open Ben Go down in the paint. They got lucky. West got lucky there. And now they will finally be going to the line after 4 straight fouls in the span of about 10 seconds from West.
33.7 seconds on the clock, and now heading to the line, Larry Olivier Jr. at the line here for Rock Island. He's got 12 points, all on 3-pointers, has not shot a free throw yet this evening for Rock Island. Here it is on the way, and down the well it goes. A big one there for Rock Island. He's got 13 now in the game for Olivier Jr.
Sure, the sharpshooter was happy to see that one go down.
49-45 now. Rock Island trying to survive in advance, and sometimes that's what it's all about here in early round tournaments and one and done as he knocks in that second free throw. 50-45, the winner gets Normal Community Friday night. Rock Island starting to close in on it, but certainly not there yet.
So if you're the Wildcats, do you go for a 3 or just the best shot?
I think you got to get your best shot possible in this situation. Too much time on the clock, but obviously you'd love to get a good look at a 3-point shot in this situation. If you're Rock Island, you're absolutely taking the 3 away. If you're going to give up anything, you're going to give away that dribble drive. You're going to give up the 2 in this situation. You'd still have a 3-point lead with under 30 seconds to go. Well, that's the situation we're in. Normal West now calling a timeout. And you kind of look down the roster, guys. Big shot here. Who are you calling on if you're the Wildcats to get the job done offensively?
I'm thinking, okay, if I'm the Wildcats, I'm drawing something up like having Nate Moore, Isaiah Robinson, or Taylor Hafferman drive it in. They've all shown that they've been able to drive it in. When you drive it in, you're going to be attracting a lot of Rock Island, or you're not because they're trying to guard the 3. So either way, it's either going to be a one-on-one or somebody's open. So you either got a one-on-one opportunity that you got to take. Otherwise, I say you kick it out to 3. So I think it all starts with the drive into the paint.
Yeah, I agree. I think your best shot that you want right now is probably a Taylor Hofferman in the paint, just try to get it into a one-score game. But if you can't settle for that, you have playmakers. You have Isaiah who can get going downhill. You have Nate who can really pull it from anywhere on the court, and he can get separation. So you have options if you're West, but one thing is certain, you got to make your decision fast because Rock Island, they're on the cusp of moving on here. West is on the cusp of losing their season.
And you got to keep an eye on Mike Zaleski. He is the sharpshooter. He's knocked down two of his 4 3-point attempts today. So if he's open from 3, I'm sure Rock Island is making sure he will not be open from 3 as he gets the ball right here.
Zaleski now to Robinson. Robinson down the lane, got all the way inside, just about lost it. Nate Moore now with 20 on the clock. Nate Moore inside. Oh, that ball looked like it got kicked that time. Back outside. The Wildcats still have it. 15 seconds now with Moore. Moore with 14 on the clock.
You got to do something.
Got to do something quick here with 12. Down the lane, has it blocked inside.
That's just
ball
great
knocked
defense.
around by Rock Island. And 6.4 seconds to go.
That's
and
great.
a jump ball. It will belong to Rock Island. And boy, that might have been the last gasp there for the Wildcats. What a great effort. And I really think Nate Moore not 100% right now as he had that turned ankle in the first half. But it looks like Normal West is going to come up just a little bit short here this evening. Still 6.4 seconds on the clock. They're down by 5. And right now it looks like Rock Island going to survive.
Hey, there's always time for a miracle. You never know. And now that inbounds in, it's not looking too likely.
Yeah.
And now a foul on Normal West as Ben Go looks like he is going to end up at the free throw line. But for Rock Island tonight, boy, the guy who really saved him was Desmond Jackson with KJ Lamont only scoring 4 points. Desmond Jackson has scored 17 in the game for Rock Island and keeping the Rocks alive. Here's the first free throw up and good. Rock Island trailed by 7 at half. We're able to take the lead going into the fourth quarter, and they've been able to hang on here now as they look for a date Friday night with the Ironmen of Normal Community. Second free throw by Ben Go is up and good. 4.5 seconds now on the clock. Isaiah Robinson into the front court. Robinson's 3 on the way is no good, and that will do it. Final score here from Normal Community tonight. Rock Island survives and advances. It wasn't easy for the Rocks, but they get the win 52-45 over Normal West. Ben, let's start with you. Why don't you talk about the Wildcats and how they performed this evening?
Yeah, first of all, that was just a crazy effort from the Wildcats. You can see they're all pretty heartbroken at, the center court, and I would be too, honestly. That was just a great game overall. And, the West Wildcats, they were kind of counted out going into this game. Not a lot of people thought they could win, but they really proved everyone wrong, proved they could compete. And, if you're going to go out, I think that's a great way to go out. They went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams, a team they weren't projected to beat. And, they hung with them for a while to the very end, really. And there's not much more you can ask for if you're the coach. They played hard the whole game. They really got after it. I think they out-hustled Rock Island for most points of this game. So, tough result for West, but that's definitely a game that they can be proud of as a whole and be proud of as an ending note to the season.
Yeah, Zach, your thoughts? Why don't you talk a little bit about Rock Island moving on?
Well, I think this is obviously, Rock Island was expected to win by a little bit more than 7, and actually the scoreboard doesn't tell the story at all. This is a much closer game than a 7-point game. It was a one-possession game for most of the matchup. But I think if you're Rock Island, obviously you have a lot of things to improve on, which I've talked about throughout the game. The defense did get tremendously better. They gave up 30 points in the first half, only 15 in the second half. That's really impressive. The offense, they're a great three-point shooting team, but they also need to know what to do. If the three-point shot is lacking, they need to know how they can adjust for that and be able to knock it down the inside, and I think that's what KJ Lamont can usually do, and that's another positive for Rock Island. KJ Lamont had 4 points. He's their leading scorer. He averages 19 a game, and he only had 4, and they're still able to win. Desmond Jackson really showed up for him. I think he almost had 20. I think he ended up with 19.
17 tonight for Desmond Jackson.
17
nice
from
night.
Jackson. And, Rock Island really showed out in the second half. They outscored West by 14 in the second half. They showed that they can hustle, give it their all, and, man, they can shoot. So this is the number 12 team in 4A for a reason, and Community, it's going to be a great game on Friday.
That certainly is. Let's run down the final scoring. First of all, for Normal West, their season ends at 11 in 2015 for Taylor Hofferman tonight. Leading scorer, Nate Moore only got 7. 6 for Undrell Alexander. 6 for Isaiah Robinson. 4 for C.J. Wilson. 1 point for Malik Gibbons and 6 points from Michael Zaleski. Total of 45 for Normal West. For Rock Island, 17 for Desmond Jackson. 14 for Larry Olivier Jr. 8 points for Javante Cartwright. We mentioned the 4 points from KJ Lamont. 5 for Lawson Zulu. 2 points for Jay Clark Pugh and 2 for Ben Go. Total of 52 for Rock Island. 14-7 Wildcats after 1. 30-23. Lead was Normal West at halftime. Rock Island took the lead 39-38 after 3, and they win it 52-45. Our next Ink Spot broadcast Friday night. It's the regional championship game. Normal Community versus Rock Island. Again, that's a 7 o'clock tip. If you can't be here at Normal Community High School, make sure that you join Zach and Ben on the Ink Spot here. Well, that's going to wrap things up here this evening. Thanks so much for joining us, whether it's at Normal West or the Quad Cities. Appreciate you being with us for game number 2. For Zach Knox Doyle and Ben Curver, and also the guy who does everything for us, Mr. Brad Bovenkirk, I'm Joel Swanson saying so long from Normal Community High School.